Recording, Gordon?
Gordon is recording.
Yo, let's go. Well, welcome back, everybody, to Freedom 35ers Cardano NFT podcast, episode 16, technically episode 17 for all the OGs out there. My name is Tommy. I go by TOMMY.
My name is TJ. I go by Lazy T.
And I am the other Tom. I go by Lavish Bear.
And tonight we're joined by our second ever guest onto the podcast, none other than JCRYPTO. Jay, welcome on, man. What's going on?
Well, you know, I got like I said earlier, my dog's in the other room. I threw on the Netflix for her, so she is going to be staying nice and quiet so she doesn't bark. I put on Step Brothers, and I'm just excited to get into all this beautiful CNFT news, Cardano news, and just hang out with you guys for the next however long, right?
Dude, we always
looking forward to it.
We got about 7 or 8 hours ready to go.
Yeah, we always freedom after dark is the saying once we hit midnight over here. But no, dude, we'll try to keep it to, like I said, we always say an hour. It usually ends up being about an hour and a half, hour 47, somewhere in that time frame. Exactly.
Hour 47 roughly.
Yeah, you know, just nothing too exact. I don't know why it always hits on that mark, dude. So we'll get you through this though. But dude, we appreciate you jumping onto the channel, man. It's the second time we've had somebody onto the channel. We had Blake, like you said, CNFT last week, and I know you were on Blake's live stream as market update for your first live stream with him too. So it was dope to see other content creators collabing inside the CNFT space. So we appreciate you having you on, and you know, there's obviously a lot going on inside the Cardano space this week, but specifically the metaverses have dropped some big news. So I'm excited tonight because you're the metaverse connoisseur over there, dude, with all the Twitter spaces, the Metaverse Monday, dude. Jay, for anybody listening on our podcast that may not have heard from you, can you kind of give a little bit of background about you, what you do, and then how you got into CNFTs?
Yeah, for sure. And I liked how you said metaverse connoisseur, because I think that, you know, diversifying is an important fundamental when we talk about anything investing. And connoisseur is somebody that likes to taste a lot of different, let's say, wines, if you're a wine connoisseur. But for me, I think what's different about me and my channel is when I first started covering, my first videos were actually on DAOs, on the Binance Smart Chain and DeFi.
Okay.
And I was covering protocols I was using mostly that I was just like, holy mackerel, I can't believe that this is even happening to the financial institutions. Like so much of this technology is just going to revolutionize finance and peer-to-peer finance. So it got me really excited because before crypto, I was, you know, researching apartment housing to potentially buy or learn how to buy. Really, you know, I had a couple mentors. I worked in a real estate firm. These guys made it from doing, you know, 4 like quadruplexes. They would rent out quadruplexes. Yeah. And I just kind of started to study people that were, I guess, building wealth. And it was interesting because blockchain's been on my radar since 2016. I read a blockchain book. Things kind of converged all around this last little bull market where I really dived in when we had protocols to look at. So DEXs, DAOs, aggregators, all this stuff was the things that I was studying on the Binance Smart Chain because the fees were just so much cheaper to utilize. I think there was actually more stuff being built, probably more risky stuff being built, I should preface, on the Binance Smart Chain than Ethereum.
Yeah.
But it was very interesting when I saw the first, you know, ideation of a DEX or a DAO creating an NFT that represented a share of profit on a few protocols. Actually, there was a few. And then we saw ApeSwap make their ApeSwap NFTs. And a lot of that stuff really didn't do well. But I learned a ton of the fundamentals, and I would just report and try to educate people on like what the heck is going on, prefaced with, hey guys, this is incredibly risky. We're all guinea pigs out here. Believer in Cardano for a while, waiting for them to have something that was kind of tangible. NFTs were the first product on the Cardano blockchain. So when I was doing some R&D on other blockchains to kind of venture out, because I saw this like, Binance Smart Chain is a great playground, but where's this stuff really going to be built for the next 40, 20 years?
Right.
Cardano was a clear-cut winner. I mean, I looked at Solana, I looked at Mina protocol. If you guys remember Mina, the lightest, smallest blockchain in the world or something. That's their pitch. I looked at, the fundamentals of these things, and I really saw, I saw something special in Cardano. I think it was at first about the hard fork combinator and just their kind of approach to treating all these other projects on other chains like mercenaries, and saying, hey, if we can build a blockchain that can facilitate all these different languages that can come into our ecosystem, then we're going to really win, because they're going to want to go to the best blockchain. And there was some other fundamentals there too, but I had to relearn the entire kind of what I was studying, because NFTs are traded very differently and treated very differently than DeFi. But that's why I have like a utilitarian approach, like you say,
Right.
Tommy, to NFTs, because I think where this is going is, NFTs are going to be like, and PAVIA is already doing it, representative of a loan to a lease to own building that a developer took out a loan and is paying interest back. So if you own that NFT from Empower, you're gaining some passive income from the interest. Very interested in the real fi side of NFTs in the future, but right now it's all about IP, building the future IP that will be integrated into things like the metaverse, the platform where this stuff gains a whole lot more utility and functionality. And you need lore, you need story, you need exciting fun projects with communities that can continue to iterate and build their story. So I see value in all of it. I think it all makes sense why things are popping up. I do think that there's a bubble in all of it in a way, and there's risk in all of it, but that needs to be provided with a lot of context depending on what we're talking about.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's good to know. I didn't realize the background of what, and it makes more sense to me hearing what you just said, of why you approach things the way that you do, especially in you're very analytical when it comes to your videos. And it always, to me, you always remind me of like a dream, like the visionary or the dreamer, right? Of like what this could be kind of thing, and just all the possibilities. So it's good to hear that you had that background of where you kind of came from and then into this space. It's definitely a unique approach. So when just quick question too, when was the first time you bought a CNFT? Like last year? What month? When did you get into Cardano NFTs?
And what was your first one you bought?
There you
I
go.
think it was DEADPXL.
Really?
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was DEADPXL.
So early then, you started out early.
Yeah.
Or did you buy secondary? Was that at Mint or was that on?
It was close. It was close to Mint. It was 40 ADA.
Okay.
I did an interview with Adrian too. I was one of like the first YouTubers to cover them.
Yeah.
And really like talk about how they were like the first interactive NFT, and how if you build an interactive NFT like DEADPXLZ, I almost wish that we could throw one up on the screen, because if you click it, you can see all the traits. You can see, you can change it by clicking it. I have one on my phone, which would be fun to pull out while we're talking. And I just saw that this could be its own genre in of itself. So like with this,
I don't think it'll show with the background.
Oh, it won't show, maybe.
Here, Gordon's on it, right? Gordon,
Oh, there we go.
I got you. Don't worry about you guys. I got you already. Jay, this is what this show. Oh, I don't know if I'm overriding your screen right now.
There we go, Gordon. There we go.
Can you see anything?
I'm seeing your background. Yeah.
Menu.
There you go. I think it's Jay. Are you still sharing right now?
No. So
He was showing his phone.
I was just showing this phone real quick, because real quick, if you click on
it, screen here. Gordon, get it together. Come on.
I don't know what's going on with my screens tonight. This is fun. Never had this before. Oh, that's because I'm an idiot. There we go.
Oh, there we go. So
yeah. Okay.
You can put this on you can put it as an app on your phone. So every day you can wake up and click on it as if it was an application. I have it as an application on my phone. And where I saw the potential was actually it being the first proof of concept. And if you double click, it shows all the traits. Yeah. So where I saw this having potential was it didn't need to do anything else, right? They could just, Adrian obviously is creating the game, and that's amazing. But where I saw the potential was this thing could literally just be the first one to do an interactive NFT on Cardano and be extremely successful as a blue chip because of how collectors work.
Right.
The reason why is because if you make an interactive NFT like this with links that is, to websites or marketing, for example, like a very popular CNFT Imagine if there was a way to make the links interchangeable in the future, where you could pop out different links. And by holding the equivalent of a CryptoPunk that was interactive on, the Cardano blockchain, you could rent out space on your NFT that people are viewing because it's so famous or part of a very famous collection, and literally put links to other brands and websites. So that was my thesis early days, where I could see this as the first proof of concept of very interesting technology. And then I interviewed Adrian, and I realized that he worked for a gaming company in the interview. And I was like, wow, this actually he could pump out a really serious game. And he was Gary V, you may have heard.
Oh,
he's the kind of jockey that you just want to follow and bet on, because that guy's not letting his reputation get destroyed. So that was kind of the first project that I really was like,
That's interesting, because I mean, I think most of the people we talk to, in my head, I'm always like, okay, usually people got into crypto first and just trading the traditional cryptocurrencies, and then got into a lot of NFTs. But even us, Tommy, I mean, just before the NFTs, but after we had gotten into crypto back in 2017, you guys were on your Waffle House app.
Oh,
or
I know.
that was
Our Pancake Swap and our Safe Moon and all those bullshit.
Oh,
that was
okay.
out
So
there.
you guys were on
buying your
okay.
syrup. So you guys were all into the DeFis and stuff for a while
And you're
too.
farming yield rewards. There's all kinds of, but that's when the DeFi.
Jay, I was like, oh, that's a little different than some, other people's stories we've heard of how they kind of got into it, where you were on the DAO side first early on. But I mean, really, you guys were into the DeFis too, Tommy, back then.
Yeah, no, I think everybody it was a massive wave that popped up last year. Like I said, between that like March, April time, like everything really started to pop. And then throughout, it was DeFi summer last year.
All those altcoins, yeah.
It really was.
It was actually too play to earn game summer for Binance Smart Chain. If you guys remember any of these protocols, My DeFi Pet, Crypto Blades, maybe these things popped off when Axie Infinity popped off like crazy. And we were covering them. But I had to make the switch because I saw where the puck was going. And I just thought, as a content creator, you want to be in the ecosystem that's going to be proven, that's going to gain adoption. You don't want to be somewhere where adoption might be leaving.
Right. Yeah. And I saw the same opportunity, because I've always heard Cardano, that was always for me, never a problem. We were big like in the XRP back in the day. But Cardano we were always about the low fees, like what made sense, like real world, right? Like where is everybody going to end up at? That was always kind of where we kind of looked. In Cardano, once I started doing more research into it and started listening to Charles Hoskinson, it was just like, it kind of lit up to me.
No brainer.
I remember talking to you guys about it last summer, like in July, like, guys, I moved all my stuff into either XRP or ADA at that time. And shortly thereafter in August, that's where right after CNFT.io launched, that's when I got into CNFTs. And minting all those new projects and talked to these guys. Cardano trees I made a big flip on that. And that's kind of what got these guys involved with us. We started group chat, and these guys made their wallets. They jumped in on the Clay Nation mint, other things like that. And then eventually that group chat from us and the text messages became, hey, let's start a podcast and let's talk about this every day, because we already do anyway. And that's how kind of we got started, because we launched in October 14th of last year, started our first episode. So it was all, and like I said, we were all in the early days, and it seems like everything moves a million miles a minute in this space. So covering stuff, even like I said, in a week's time, there's so much to get through. So it's dope to hear where you kind of came from and where everything's kind of going. And I just wanted to piggyback for the first topic of the night, just to kind of make a mention of it, what you just talked about as far as games, like the play to earn gaming on the blockchains. One of our big things, which we will probably dive more in deep for next week, but we posted a teaser today about this. We got a chance last night to go ahead and talk to David, the founder of Yummi Universe, and learn a little bit more about their project, which is play to earn Pokemon style that on the Cardano blockchain. And that was super interesting to hear what their plans are now for the play to earn side of that, and the staking of those NFTs and how they will earn you that Yummi coin. They literally are trying to make Pokemon on this blockchain. And I have a good feeling that they might succeed with what they're doing. So we just want to make a quick mention of that. The interview for everybody listening right now on the podcast will actually have been out yesterday, which is Thursday. So you can get a chance to listen to that. But just wanted to make a quick mention, Jay, from what you just said. The play to earn seems to be a huge mover.
I'm going to listen to that. That's very interesting. Who made that little GIF there, or that little image? That thing's sick with the Yummi Freedom collab.
That's over Tom.
That was already there. We just plugged in the Freedom 35 screen.
Yeah,
but you plugged it in. That's pretty nice, man.
Dude, Tom does some
Want to give
great.
the craftsman some, you know.
I don't, Jay, have you never
respect.
seen any? I know you haven't got a chance to see too much of what we got going on, but Yummi
No.
seems to like our edits over here. I don't know if you've ever seen what Tom does over here, but he makes these edits. A lot of the Yummies, like they tweeted this picture of the Giga Naru, like this little Naru with his giant head. He makes the
Yeah.
video of it evolving. That's all Tom right
Wow, that's
there.
so that brings back memories, Tom.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. So he definitely, it's fun.
Oh man,
We're
that
big
brings
fans
back
of Yummi.
memories right,
Right?
there.
So it's fun, man. Yummi Universe is a huge project that we love. So, but just wanted to make a quick mention of these guys, man. It's gonna be. I'm excited for what they got going on this year, just to say the least. And we wanted to kind of touch base too, Jay, with us. I know we've been starting this space. You guys have invited us into this space with the Hidden Order and Cardano Poppy. They're called CNFTacoTuesday. That happens every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. The Taco Tunnel, dude. That's it's
the Taco Tunnel. Yep.
Dude. Can you guys explain a little quick backstory on this? No, this isn't like a major topic that we were about to cover, but I had to mention it because last night was a lot of fun too.
Yeah, dude, I'll explain very simply. I'm a YouTuber. Cardano Poppy does TikTok. Hidden Order is like a networker. There was another Time for Dylan's a YouTuber. We all started messaging each other because we were like I think this has kind of happened with you guys and Blake and like a few other Cardano content creators, but we were like, this was like early December. Like we just started connecting.
Yeah.
And we were just like, okay, well, we don't know many other content creators yet from Cardano. Let's just make our own thing on Tuesdays. That'll be fun to talk about CNFTs. And that's exactly what happened. So the ideation, I think I was doing Metaverse Monday. So I was throwing out a bunch of T names, and then somebody threw out CNFT Taco Tuesday, and then Cardano Poppy came in with, hey, we should drink tequila. You know, I don't know where it came from with that, but that was hilarious. So, you know, some people partake of that still. I do the tacos. I will admit to that. And it's just a whole lot of fun. You guys came in, and now it's a real fun show. And we even have guests sometimes of projects. So it's been really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's been 3 of them now. We had Ammonium on there. We had Cardopoly, and we had, now last night, Sushi Bites.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a
3
fun
very
space,
different projects. If you think about it.
It's very diverse, which I really like about that too, which it's just a fun space, right? It runs about an hour after Real Talk. I know it's one of the bigger spaces too on Tuesday nights, but it's a lot of just like, if you're looking for a chill kind of vibe, like have fun and learn about some cool stuff, like that's the move right there. So I just had to shout that out because you made this sick logo. It reminded me like the old T-Bell days, like Taco Bell days, like the neon lighting and stuff.
I can hear the sound they play in the commercial.
Like,
that.
Yeah,
exactly. Exactly.
Thank you, guys.
So I just wanted to shout that out while we were coming across that, dude. So Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, if you guys want to check us out. It's Taco Tuesday. Is always fun, and you get lost in the taco tunnel when people always do.
Yeah, that's true. Watch out for the taco tunnel
for sure. So real quick, wanted to jump into which I don't know if I have my tabs right. I don't, but so we'll jump over to this.
Start with Ghostchain. That's a great project. Shout out to Slick. Shout out to Craw.
Right.
I forget if it's Crawfish or Crawford.
There's a Rad. I don't know if you have Rad in there, the giant eggplant over there.
No, not yet.
Oh, you haven't met Rad yet. Yeah.
Maybe I have, but the eggplant, I'm thinking of the emoji, and it's just a funny emoji people use, right?
You threw a big veiny one in there the other day. It was interesting. But no, dude, shout out to Ghostchain, man. This kind of blew up this past week, man, with you guys doing the live stream with Blake, right? On the market update. I'm sitting there in the chat just listening to you guys talk about Ghostchain for a second, and they're like, Blake says there's like some marketplace involved with that, right? And he's like, I shoot in the comments. Yeah, Freeroam's involved with this, and then your face, dude, you had that reaction, which to me was probably one of the funniest, like genuine reactions, where you're just sort of like, "Yo, that's Freeroam," and you're like, "That they're dope, man!" Like that was like, and then the Ghostchain community just were like, "Yo, they're all on top of that."
They made me a meme, dude. But it's very awesome because like the reality is that I look for utility in NFTs, and I have used the Freeroam dashboard. Shout out to Jarhead who kind of put me onto it.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful dashboard. Most people probably have seen it by now. It's a great product. So it kind of goes, so exactly. So it goes to show you can see like the total USD amount. So $28.4 thousand. You can see the ADA amount, 23.9K ADA. But you also see,
I didn't notice that at all right there. I've connected my wallet to this, and I just didn't realize like what I'm looking. This is my it is my wallet. All right.
But you can see like the total NFTs. You can see like how many Ghostchain. You can see the top 5 projects in value, right?
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that it's like that. So in your case, your portfolio must have a lot of, projects that maybe are just a little bit, I would say, okay. So you have 1,400, 1,200. So it's like the top 5 in value.
Yeah.
For floor price. Or no, total price, right? Yeah.
No, it's the floor price. So it takes the floor, like my pixel, right? I have a Santa hat pixel, which is like valued higher than this, but they're telling you what your minimum value of your portfolio is.
And it ranks it by like your total value though. So like the value is the ranker, but isn't this like a beautiful product, guys?
It looks so nice, man. Their marketplace, their website is so nice, dude. But it was such a genuine reaction because it's funny how that you heard of Freeroam first, but didn't know about Ghostchain.
I didn't know about Ghostchain.
And it was awesome that the two are interconnected with each other. But yeah, the Ghostchains are the 10,000 ghosts that are all connected to this marketplace where they take 0.01% net profit of the profits of Freeroam. So this, the success of Freeroam basically gives the value to the Ghostchain. And they're all and that it's a huge thing for that product. And also, like I said, I own 2 Ghostchains myself right now currently, and I guess the highest one I have is an uncommon tier. They also give you discounted fees inside the Freeroam marketplace depending on which tier of ghost you have. So that's
I wasn't
pretty
aware
neat.
of that part. That's pretty cool. I like that. Even more incentive to get in.
Well, Jay, you did a breakdown with your analytics video, which I had to mention on this, was that you were kind of breaking down like what the percentage of like a ghost could possibly earn you. Yes. For bringing that out there. And I think we were saying about a million ADA worth of like profit value for these guys would net you for one ghost about 100 ADA.
So like when we do the math, it's 0.01% per ghost of the marketplace fees. So if they're charging 2% and you take, a million ADA, volume, and then you basically, say what's 2% of a million ADA, and then you have to divide it by 10. So 2% of a million ADA, what is that? 20,000?
20,000. Yeah.
So then 20,000 divided by 10 would be 2 ADA per day, but that could net to per quarter over like 300 ADA.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And that's assuming that they only do, like you said, that 1 million ADA worth of fees or whatever it is. If they become the flagship, the go-to kind of marketplace that's where the value I think really brings in. So I wanted to shout out today too, because I do have their Discord up over here. I did have their Discord up while we were moving around. Is this update that they put out tonight. They were originally on their roadmap trying to push all this stuff out by the end of January for their marketplace. Unfortunately, they're working on building better devs into this into their marketplace and onto their team, and they're going to go ahead and give you an update here soon. But basically, what I wanted to kind of highlight is that they don't want to build just another marketplace. That Cardano already has those. We're trying to build something that we don't have to shout from the rooftops for people to use. We want people to use it because it's simply the best out there, and more Cardano developers will help us achieve the ultimate goal as we move forward to Freeroam. You guys enjoy your week, and they kind of gave some stills of what some of the marketplace is going to look like. The different pages, the guys will be able to change their banners, their profile pics, their descriptions for each of the individual verified projects on Ghostchain's marketplace, Freeroam, and it gives you kind of some stills of what the marketplace is going to look like, the UI, and then also what the listings and like previous listings and who viewed it and how many likes. They're basically combining JPEG store with CNFT.io, with token, with all these different ones, right? And trying to become an all-in-one. So I just had to shout them out.
Well, I like that though too. Like usually you hear something's been delayed, it's a little bit of a disappointment. Like, if you're looking forward to a movie and then you hear it's, release got delayed 4 months, it's kind of disappointing. But in terms of like this kind of thing, or like a video game, when they delay for the proper reason, because they want to make sure that they're not pushing out a product, just trying to stick to their timeline when it's not ready. And then it fails because of that. No one's going to adopt it if it's having problems early on. They want to make sure it's as good as it can be on launch day. So I like seeing that, that they're taking the time to make sure it is as good as they actually want it to be.
For sure. I think that's a huge key. Like when you see teams that do the right thing and they don't just rush it out just because they need to get it out, or they're building off the hype and they do it the right way, that, like you said, it makes me excited for whatever they're working on. And it gives me more trust in the team that they're actually building something that is going to be, worth, last.
Well, it's got to be one of the nice things of, kind of controlling your own project too. Because I mean, you see it like in gaming all the time where, the actual team making the game, you know, they have to answer to the main company, you know, Activision or whatever, and they got to stick to those dates sometimes. And you got games that come out that are completely broken or like beta testing on actual supposed to be full launch. So you just don't want that, because especially like what they're saying on a marketplace, if they want to actually be seen as the obvious best that brings people over just because it's the one that everyone's at, you can't be having problems off the bat like that, or at least the minimum amount you can have as possible. So I'm glad they're tackling that correctly.
I have one for you guys on Ghostchain. What I just clicked, man. I think what they're doing, because when we talk about marketplaces need users, but what's the one thing that a lot of the CNFT marketplaces don't really have? And that's like that inter-social engagement peer-to-peer. I think Ghostchain is positioning themselves with their metaverse play, if you guys have seen that, to be much more like a social media financial tool than we think. And I'm actually very, that's what I think they're doing, guys. Like, for real. I think they're going to have the kind of UI that mixes kind of Instagram vibes in there. I just saw with the likes and stuff, but there might be some metaverse social engagement that we can do with each other, that connects back to their marketplace and makes it a place that we not only want to share and, like, you know, and communicate with each other with, but also do transactions.
Yeah, I think that's it. Wouldn't it be fun to comment, because we have all the Discord servers and different places to do all that? Wouldn't it be fun to kind of have like an all-in-one? Like, I jump into Freeroam and I see their marketplace. Hey, this guy just sold this. Hey, look at this. Like, I can comment. Like, dude, you get some interacting. Yeah, because that's your other sell, right? To making a marketplace as people, get people there. Like, what's the engagement to get people there? And if there's a way socially to do that, you know what I'm saying?
Imagine a channel on the marketplace for each project. So if you want to see what's happening with the project, you can go to Discord, but you could also just go into the marketplace's channel.
Correct.
And that's just for all, it's like a Reddit almost for all the community members to engage. And that provides a whole new avenue for the projects to connect with people too that are interested in their projects. Super interesting. That's where I think they're going, guys.
Yeah. And
well, just that dashboard though. I mean, that's what any financial app you use is going to have basic information like that right in front of you. So you're not just kind of doing random math in your head, especially with how much ADA fluctuates now, where at some point you're like, oh, ADA, I don't care if it's $1.80, in my mind it's $2. And well, now it's down, you know, much lower than that. So you can't just consider it $2 all the time.
Like,
that's our mind.
That's not how it works. So so having an actual dashboard where it lays out at least the bare minimum to some estimate, as opposed to kind of trying to be like you have 494 NFTs in that wallet now, Tommy?
Yeah, dude, I had to start spreading them out. I had to start spreading them out, bro.
You got like 200.
I got
okay. So, but
they're all. I'm saying this is one of my biggest ones that I think this is one of my main ones that I hold.
500 NFTs in your account. And you're trying to remember what the floors and stuff like that. It's just too much information. Yeah, that's just not possible. And then especially across multiple wallets and stuff. So having it all in just one dashboard right there is already. It's so obvious that they did this, but also like, can't believe it wasn't there. But then it's also innovative because no one's done it yet, and it doesn't make sense now seeing it. Like, how did no one do this before?
Well, you want to know something crazy? Is I actually, back in the day when I first started trading, there you go. When I started trading these NFTs, dude, I've actually made my own Excel sheet and was going back and forth and adding like my transactions, my own ledger, and I was calculating the floor prices or what my estimated value was, so I could always keep track of what my portfolio was worth based on where I was at. And the off chance that I needed to sell, wanted to offload, or just kind of wanted to see where I was at, right? And this thing comes along, and here it is. Just I connect a wallet, and boom, I don't have to do it. Because you know how much a hassle that was just going through, even when I had like maybe 150 of these things, versus where I'm at now with definitely over 500 now.
And one last point too, guys, on Ghostchain for the audience is in their white paper, they say that any products that they develop, there's going to be like royalty distributions that the percentages might change. I know the marketplace, so Freeroam is like 100% of those profits, but it's interesting when they say that, because if they really do what I think they do and become Ghostchain Venture LLC and create a bunch of products and projects, they could really venture into the DeFi space as well. And that's where things get very lucrative for the Ghostchain community.
Well, think about, like you said, like the loan and the staking of your NFT to lend out assets and stuff, because technically you have a marketplace that funds those NFTs already because they're already tied to that marketplace. Boom, that's a perfect lending to utilize the Ghostchain as utility for that. I'm excited for what these guys are doing. The community is really nice. They're very welcoming. They caught us back in the day off a random, we just talked about them because the floor was going well. They kind of came over and grabbed us in, and Slick, same way, kind of introduced us, and we got adopted into that community months ago. And it's so fun to see like new people coming in. Fettuccine this week tweeted about them as well. They were big with Fettuccine as well. It was good to see them, getting some recognition out there. So we had to shout out the Ghostchain because it was funny to see your reaction over to that as well.
Dude, let me ask you guys this though, or really preface for the audience too. It's not financial advice. We're all pumped about Ghostchain. They have gone up in price though, and it's something also to hedge. Like just while we talk about it so bullishly, it's like we're still really early. They still have to come out with the products and things of that nature. I'm bullish. I'm excited. I'm speculating. I'm excited. I'm playing. And I think you guys are too. And we all really hope that they succeed. And they came out with a great product so far. So we're rooting for it. But also just for, the audience, there's some risks. There's some
100%
development risks.
Tommy, I got to ask for a little insider information here. Are the rats going to jump on the Ghostchain, or what do they do?
I don't know if they pushed that.
It's tough with the rats.
They're trying to get them to push that proposal. I know Slick is very big over there. And I think, Jay, I know you're in the rat style as well. And TJ, actually you are too. But
I'm the only one that's not a rat. Okay.
Yeah, you need to jump in the
rat.
Mouse
DAO or a cat DAO.
They're trying to go for established NFTs first. So I could see why there could be an argument against it, but could Ghostchain become a blue chip CNFT? I mean, it certainly has the utility premise to do it, right?
They quickly could do it, but they're not. I think Rat's DAO is not more on the speculative play yet. They're more on the, the guaranteed, this is what we're doing kind of thing. But I think if Ghostchain keeps making noise, dude, there's going to be hard to ignore here one day. I can tell you
if Rats starts buying Ghostchains though, imagine what that would do for Ghostchain. I think Rats will become like the indicator for a lot of investors when they buy a project that hasn't been qualified as a blue chip yet.
Dude, so think about it though. Like that's the perfect like trading method, like being on the inside. That's the benefit of being in that Rats DAO, right? Like everybody's voting on the proposals like, hey, today we're going to go sweep the, the ADApes or whatever floor is out there right now, right? We're going to go sweep that floor. Well, inherently, if you own one of those apes, if they swept that floor, all of a sudden the value in that project is rose. So it's like, it's a little bit ahead of the game for sure if you're involved in that kind of stuff. So it's interesting to see the new things that all start to come out of these different projects. And
we're in an insane place. This is an insane place to be, guys.
For sure. Well, Jay,
insanity, craziness.
Big thing where I wanted to talk about tonight because there's huge, massive news. We're recording this on Wednesday, the 9th. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and shout this out over here for Jay, the Metaverse connoisseur.
PAVIA. Saying, cue the music. TJ, here's our PAVIA update.
Yeah, we used to cover PAVIA back from the first land sale all the way up until now. And obviously, Jay, I know you cover this quite frequently with where you're at. But I had to make a shout out. We covered them, I think, when they were maybe 9,000, 10,000 followers. They were up to 58. We always do an update.
Isn't that crazy?
Dude, they're doing so well.
I just saw Altcoin Daily talk about them again tonight. So
yeah, well, that's
insane.
Well, it's because of a big announcement that happened today, right?
I mean, yeah, dude, I think you're right.
We want to get into this. We actually have the actual third land sale. They have given us a timeline for this right now. Land sale number 3, the final one, is going to be the last 40,000 plots to make up the 100,000 over there. 80 ADA for grabs, and the maximum of 9 parcels.
Smart. I think for the 80 ADA jump.
Oh yeah, for sure.
For sure. Values. The mint is.
I still think it's pretty generous too, though, considering what the floor is on the secondary.
It's super generous.
Well, yeah, but so with this big thing is obviously comes demand. Everybody's looking at it right now, and the main part of this is that they had to implement some sort of a whitelist, right? You could have never done it, or normal the way they've minted in the past. They could have never done that now. So the big thing this week is that your whitelisting addresses, they're going to be doing bot kind of like, protection and like, basically sifting through everything to make sure that there's no, as best they can, if there's no bots inside this mint. And you have right now until the 11th at 9 a.m. UTC, which is like 4 a.m. for us over here on the East Coast. So on February the 11th, this Friday. And then the whitelist sale, which I don't know, Jay, if you can elaborate on this, the whitelist sale begins at 1700 UTC on Friday the 11th. So I don't know if you have any other. We were kind of asking like, well, when are you going to find out about the whitelist? Like, did you make it? Like, what are your thoughts on this? I guess just in general.
Yeah, I think it's going to happen. I think you're going to find out in between 9 UTC and 17 UTC.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to be able to sign in with your wallet and see if you made the cut, so to speak.
Oh, like
Okay.
post your address and see if you made it.
So
Okay.
instead of
Yeah.
doing the famous Excel
I think so.
spreadsheet and instead of Control F,
I don't
and
know,
R, and
But but I think so. I think that's how it's going to work, because why wouldn't it work that way? What I'm interested in is actually the bot eradication, because Pavia was by far and still kind of
terrible.
is criticized for the other mint, and they got
Right.
so much slack. And I didn't even mint in the first or second land sales. So, I mean, I'm just telling you guys, like, from my perspective of somebody that bought at a premium on like the secondary market after both of those sales, like I really, didn't give any slack, because I was like, well, what can you expect? I mean, so many people were talking about this project, but the fact that they're trying to do it, I think is a really good thing. They didn't tell me to say it. They support my channel. Just gonna shout
There
out
you
the
go.
merch, but
Rep it, dude. Rep
they
it.
tell me I can say whatever I want. Up till now, if I say something stupid, maybe they'll tell me. But so far, I've been testing the waters and I'm good.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. But I think the big thing here is how they're doing this bot eradication, because what I think is one way that they're going to do it, if you guys notice the thing that you sign at the bottom, I'm pretty sure that you can send an address without signing I confirm and understand the above instructions. So that could be one thing, because if you can send without signing that, that's interesting to me. I wonder what else they'll do to kind of see if bots are trying to get in on this whitelist. It's very interesting.
I saw people kind of mentioning in the Discord today, they were like, what if you're on the same IP address and you've entered in multiple different wallets because you hold multiple Cardano wallets? I've seen that. And then somebody's argument to that was like, well, so my brother or sister who live in the same house that have Cardano and separate wallets can't put a transaction in with, because we have the same IP address. That makes no sense.
That's true.
Well, you can't, I mean, when trying to prevent one person, you're always going to cut out more than one. So it's like, if you're trying to prevent bots, if that's the biggest issue for people, if that's the priority, I could see why they would, obviously do that. But it's it comes down to what the priority is, because you can't please everyone, especially when you have so much attention on you, like a project like Pavia. Can you guys imagine? These guys get it from everywhere, but it's rightfully so, because it's one of the with the good parts come the bad parts, right? The criticism, the spotlight are both yin and yang. So it's all, it's all kind of makes sense to me, everything that's happened so far.
And that's a good point, because I would much rather them combat the bots. I mean, already,
right?
There's a slim chance of you
cut
getting
out the sister.
Anyway. Yeah.
Get out the bots.
How many people is that happening to? Okay, maybe if your sister wants to buy one, have her send you some of your ADA or front her some ADA and you guys can split it. If you're telling me that there's a brother and sister duo both trying to buy estates, the maximum number, how many of that cases are there happening? And unfortunately, like you said, not everyone's going to be happy.
1%.
You're going to have to miss out on that for everyone else to not get botted and not get any of them. Like it's one or the other. So I mean,
you're about to piss off a random brother sister come over.
It's like, and it might be a bot in the Discord. It could be a bot. You never know what these bots are trying to do. But they could be the brother and sister. Who knows? So
that's fun. So I've seen that. That was one of the suggestions out there. And I also see that they're kind of trying to prioritize or help out and benefit some people who did miss out on the last sale, right? The wallet addresses that tried to mint on land sale too, that got sent back their refund.
That's true too. They did do that, and I think that's good. I think it's important to get new people into the ecosystem, because I was having this convo with Ritos, and the biggest issue I think that these metaverses will face is too many the asymmetric vertical. If this pulls off what it's going to, what some of us think it will, the wealth that will be created will be derived from the businesses built on the land,
right? On
top of the land value going up, but the business is built on the land. So, I mean, you don't need that much land to have huge asymmetric verticals. So, I mean, for me, it's more about getting new people in that are honest entrepreneurs and trying to do something with their land than it is about getting the same people in that are just trying to hoard land. I don't think that's a good, healthy thing for Pavia.
Right. Yeah, I agree on that. I know we had a good conversation last night in the Taco Tuesday about the, what people are planning to build on that land and how that's going to increase value in the future on that. We kind of talked about it a little bit too. Is like, we used the example last night, I think, of the coffee shop that you see in the Pavia trailer, where somebody in the metaverse goes to that coffee shop stand and it automatically portals you into a UI, whether it be an Uber Eats, a Starbucks, or a local coffee shop, where they're able to place that order inside your computer, inside the metaverse, and something shows up at your door, right? In real life, they combine the two. But you could also even take that one step further, is where a business who owns land inside of PAVIA is able to do their online commerce or their online shopping inside of that metaverse.
Commerce is the word.
Yep. And it's all decentralized, right? There's no barriers to block their entry of their sale. And there's nobody, telling them they can't do this. It's all decentralized. So I think that, like you said, is a huge, huge play for these metaverses.
I think it will come down to commerce being probably the biggest for, monetizing at first. But I think that that's not enough. I think that there are other things that are going to need to take place. And that comes in the form of gaming and also engagement. So engagement could be in the form of education, content, song, dance, whatever it may be, live performances. And then you also have this other piece of gaming. So that's going to bring people in to stay. The play to earn potential can be, iterated. And I think they mentioned that too in their vision paper, that they're looking to evolve with the trends that kind of come up. And I think it's true, because if you look at what Buzz has done, he's quick on his feet. If you've seen him. Yep. And I think the whole team is kind of quick on their feet. So they mentioned build to earn, which is a huge phenomenon, because Cornucopias mentioned that. So think of all the 3D rendered artists in our ecosystem that know how to build something like a jetpack, which is what Fraud Dog and I are trying to do, or just any kind of wearable that can now be employed by the PAVIA asset store. So that way a landowner can go to the PAVIA asset store and buy up, not only a house, but also, different species of birds and forestry to create an actual environment where you click on these birds and it literally gives you a list of their traits. It's a blue jay, it's 6 centimeters, it dwells in this area of the world. It gives you a whole index. Now you have a whole ecosystem in one of these plots that you can learn about frickin' birds. And it's all going to come from these 3D builders getting paid by PAVIA. So that's build to earn. So I think that's how they're going to do it. That's what the asset store is probably going to look like. And we're all going to have the ability in the game to purchase these assets and make an experience with either PAVIA token or ADA.
Did you say you're making a jetpack rip for PAVIA?
Yeah.
That's sick.
I'm trying to make it fly.
In a jetpack.
We're looking at Cornucopias, PAVIA. We're looking at Cardania. We are talking to each right now. None of them can promise anything, unfortunately, yet. So that's why me and Frog Dog like to, under promise the flying potential, and more so, hey, this is proof of concept. If we can make it fly and make it into either a blueprint later and airdrop it on people or something like that, that's what we're trying to look at. But we've been taking our time too. We haven't really released much, but we've done a lot of them. So.
That's cool. I've seen some of the 3D stuff, and I think that's going to be so cool to be able to, like you said, content creators and anybody just in general want to make something in there, and they could do it's endless. The limits are endless in there, which I just wanted to shout this out while it's in the background.
Cardano forms.
Yeah, you got Cardano forms in there. You're literally walking through the digital art gallery inside of the metaverse, which are all linked to different NFTs, right? If you click on one of these things, it'll open up. It. Yep. And that's such a cool concept already. The fact that, instead of it just being posted up onto a wall, like, oh, that's cool, that's nice. Here you are walking through this 3D gallery. The sky's the limit for what you could do. That's literally a land plot parcel right there, right? But it looks really good. If the graphics are able to stay in this kind of realm, especially for these individual spaces, it definitely gives way more of an incentive for people to want to jump in. And I know,
absolutely,
Jay, you're big on
seen this. This looks really good.
Yeah, well, they did.
Yeah, dude, this is why I want to build. Me and Ritos were talking, and whether me and him collaborate or not, we might. But what I want to build is something. I won't tell you guys the full vision, but something where you have like a cornucopia city land in a gallery. You have like a worlds within land. You have like all these different metaverses within PAVIA that people can literally jump into and transport themselves into these other lands. So that's why I've been buying like different metaverse projects that I've been able to research or talk to the founders and think, all right, they're probably going to pull off something cool. So even if it's one experience, to have it all in one gallery in PAVIA where people can literally go to my other lands and check it out, it would be really phenomenal to have that experience. And I think we're going to see that.
Oh, yeah.
What was the one you bought recently, TJ? The knockoff? Is it PAVIA? PAVIA?
I don't remember.
Unabounded Earth or Unbounded
Earth? Yeah.
Which I thought you sent those pictures.
Was that the rug pull? TJ.
No, that was
Yeah, I don't know.
Danoverse, I think.
Yeah, that was
Or
Danoverse.
Pandaverse, something like that.
But yeah, you said that,
Yes.
TJ. I was like, oh, he got into Pavia, cool. And then you're like, no, that's not Pavia. And I was like,
It's inevitable that
yeah.
these other places are going to come out, and it's just, you know, clear on a clear level that how far advanced Pavia is compared to some of the other ones out right now, and the scale of what they're actually trying to accomplish. Right, I think
Look at
one of the
that
big
POV, man.
dude, I know that's so dope. The PAVs, the pop. What are they
I want them
called?
to
POVs?
grow wings. I want them to evolve into flyable mounts, so that way we can fly around the entire Pavia universe. And I'm trying to make it a thing, guys. You know, the team hasn't, they probably look at me like I'm some crazy guy. I think it would be dope. I think it would be a great play, and we'll see if we can manifest.
That would be awesome. Yeah, I've seen these things, like they're created up. You're going to be able to find these things and actually claim them as NFTs inside of Pavia,
Yep.
right?
You don't buy them, you have to catch them.
Yep, that's dope.
Oh, that's cool.
That's a cool concept, and it's
Yeah.
just one of the big things. To
Adoption play, really bring people into Pavia to catch them. In the
That's
forest, the mountains. Think about it. You know,
100%,
the
man.
sea.
Yeah, I love to see what they're going to end up doing. But one of the big plays to us that, you know, always kind of struck a thing with me is that, you know, obviously you look at the map, you see all the different estates, you see all the different marketing, and people are already claiming their space inside of here. Potentials for this are endless and limitless. But what was one of the things is, you know, these launch pads and these portals that are inside of the space outside of the stadium, but you have the actual like Pavia portals. And I know they own land inside of Decentraland, they own land inside of Sandbox. And their goal is not to just be the Cardano blockchain metaverse. They are looking to be cross-chain and connect multiple metaverses.
You got it.
And that, to me, is one of the big draws to Pavia outside of it just being a metaverse, right? They're trying to connect everybody inside the actual metaverse itself. It's not limited to a chain. And I love that about them.
And they actually have one more traffic source because they mentioned in their vision paper how much VR means to them and why they're trying to go that way. And the writing is clear on the wall, because we see their partnerships, and we see things like the Cardano Forums Gallery, which is totally, they've modeled it after spatial.io, which is VR interoperable with the Oculus. They also have a partnership with Ready Player Me, which is avatars that are interoperable with 600 Oculus applications. So if we look at that, we not only see traffic from Decentraland and Sandbox potential, we also see traffic now from the entire Oculus just kind of tool that is the Oculus, whether it's connected to the Facebook and you can go on Pavia from the App Store, which I think you will, but also just other VR headsets potentially that are connected to that App Store. So we're getting traffic from all these different sources, and that's what's going to breathe life into Pavia.
Oh yeah. That's one thing that I haven't even considered yet, because I'm not really I don't own any Oculus. I don't own any VR stuff. Yeah. No, and it's just mainly because that technology to me didn't appeal to me at the time, and I've ever experienced it. I've been like
lightsaber music game is so dope, dude. You ever play that
Beat
one?
Saber?
Oh, it's so fun.
Yeah, that's what they the super VR users call a sweaty game. So a game that actually derives sweat from your body, because
it's fun.
I love it, man. I love the song Legends. I can go on hard, but experts.
Oh, really?
I need to go buy me an Oculus.
Dude, they're fun, man. I like it.
I'll have to get into that, man.
Arena Clash is my favorite game. It's also Facebook's #1 game right now, since they've released their metaverse called Horizon Worlds. I'm actually ranked top 300. So
a little
flex on that.
2 hours a day will get you top 200 ranks. So
that's the move right there, though, man.
I'm just trying to get used to the tool, man. It's an investment into my thesis about VR tech. So
yeah,
I don't think the Oculus will be the best, by the way. I want to say a huge shout out to Apple. They have the manufacturers. The Oculus comes from Facebook. Facebook, they didn't make products, right? They had to buy Oculus, which manufactures. So just a quick thought on that. I know it's not CNFT related, but I do think that the Oculus will start. It'll be niche. It'll be optional entertainment. But then Apple, Tesla, potentially Google, and Microsoft will build a product that makes it not an option. It'll just be something that's AR, VR compatible that we all just use. And so
isn't the Valve one supposed to be hot shit too? The one that Valve made? I know that one's it's like $40,000 or something ridiculous as far as compared to the price of the other ones. Like the Oculus seems like the entry level priced ones right now. I mean, they're not cheap, the entry level price.
It's the consumer centric $200, $300.
It's kind of like the iPhone. It's very easy for everyone to use. It's easy to set up. You know, it has its stuff. Like you don't even need, I think, a computer for some of them. They're just built in. You can play games on them.
Yep.
So they make it much more simple.
That's great. Yeah,
like
absolutely.
the Valve one, you know, it's like
there's some already that are very much much more immersive.
Yeah.
Oh,
right,
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
But dude, we honestly, I'm not, I'm not rushing this stuff, guys, because once we go there, we're not coming back. So
Oh, no.
let's take our time, enjoy the ride, because once we go VR, AR, man, we're all going to be doing it. We
Oh,
will
yeah.
VR
We're just going to be sitting there on our keyboards. Just
Yeah.
Well, once they
geezing.
perfect the switching from controllers to actual gloves that can do the motions, that was gonna be
body
a
tracking. Yeah, yeah.
huge game changer in my opinion.
What's
I
that
remember that.
episode of South Park, Tommy? Vindaloo or something? South Park Vindaloo or something? It's based on the Indian support help guys. The one where
Oh.
Cartman's in the like VR like the entire time and he thinks our Butters is, or it
Yeah.
was a multi-episode.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. Everyone's just
I
like
love South
like they
Park.
get so lost they don't
Right.
even realize they're not in the fake world. Like they're trying
Right.
to like go in and tell them like you need to wake up. What are you doing here?
Oh, like
Yeah.
Inception. I think it
yeah,
might have
that
been
kind
the
of thing.
Inception
Yeah, something
episode.
like that.
Okay.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that little bit of Matrix, all kinds of different things, dude.
That just reminded me when you said we're gonna all be sitting back just like that. I'll just be like,
Like
let's just,
what
like, out
this
and-
real life that we're in right now is just somebody else's simulation watching all of us through,
Yep.
us, right?
It's well, it could be somebody playing us, really.
Right,
'cause we
right.
could
We're
be
the avatar,
avatars.
right? Yep. There you go.
Could be.
We're fucking blowing minds out here is what we're doing. But we're gonna eventually, if we don't do it, if somebody else isn't doing it, we're gonna do it. And then it's something, our robots are gonna start. It's gonna be crazy, man. But one of the other things, big metaverse projects, which we wanted to share about too, which we haven't talked too much about on our channel, but I know
Okay.
Jay, you have as well, as Cornucopias.
Oh, yeah.
They are, in my opinion, I guess one of the leading other play to earn metaverses out there, top tier, team built behind this actual project
Yeah.
itself.
Visually, especially.
Visually,
Oh,
especially,
yeah.
but gaming wise too, like Cornucopias, this is
They've thought
a
it
play to
through.
earn for sure. And they've
They've
got
thought it through.
their own token, which I believe they announced today about that. They have a Copy staking pool that just got announced recently. That's going to be able to come available for Copy holders on February 10th this week.
Nice.
So that's a good place to go ahead and start. But if you haven't seen kind of any of this stuff, I think I was pulling up some of the videos. Well, we just let them see, but we had talked about the NFT, the
Mhm.
bubble jet sale that was going to happen that got delayed. And one of the reasons that it got delayed is because it wasn't ready to go ahead and, they were worried about the blockchain congestion. They were worried about a good minting experience for their users, and they didn't want people to be upset. Right. They wanted to do it quality the way that they've been doing this slowly. Like the
Look
big
at
thing
this
for them
guy.
is
Yeah,
they've been
insane.
around for how long, and they haven't actually released anything, but they have such support.
This is like the second round of Catalyst funding or something like that. It's crazy.
And they've been around, and they actually have the Copy token, right? It's on the Binance Smart Chain as of right now, right? Just
Speaking of
because
pancake
Cardano's, you can get some pancake, you can get your syrup, like, get it ready to go.
With the Waffle House, Tom.
Dude, I don't
House,
even know if
Waffle
they
House
have
do fine.
syrup anymore. Funny enough, they still will use the term, but I remember the syrup pools.
Is it really? We were just joking about that too, because we always make fun of like what pancake
The
swap
names
is.
are?
But yes, it's just always
Well,
like there's always some
yeah.
delicious food,
They're
right?
all
Like Sunday
food. They're all
pancake.
food based.
I have a great thesis
They're all
about
that.
Sunday Swap and Pancake Swap being able to open up food chain restaurants if they're really lucrative in the future. That I think could play out potentially with all these food names. If they really wanted to, you could have Sunday Swap, IP, delicious ice cream,
Right.
patented, just special, locations that I think is potentially going to play out depending on how lucrative this stuff gets.
Well, yeah, you just reminded me. Like I can go to Sunday Swap and pay with my Sunday token to go ahead and buy whatever
And
it is
that's
inside of that store.
You
right?
got it. Or
Or-
NFTs, imagine, right?
or-
like a
or-
free Sunday every single Sunday, right? If you own the Sunday NFT OG, it could be.
You were they were there on Sundays. They do certain NFTs, and you were there for that first drop, right? And it's worth so much money or something crazy, right? But this Cornucopias drop, I know Jay, you've talked to the team as well on the Metaverse Monday and other things as well. This is a play to earn game.
Play to earn, learn to earn, build to earn. They got you can do anything and earn pretty much in this game.
It reminds you
Earn.
when they talk about it, right? It's massive play to earn, build to earn, learn to earn, basically where players are rewarded and with either land, properties, or NFT assets based with real world value that you can basically either forge your NFTs sometimes too and go ahead and use them or sell them.
You got it.
To other players. And then on top of that, the island is the main place inside of this game, and there's different theme zones in there, which so it's
almost like a Westworld.
That's what I was gonna say, dude. It reminds me of Westworld.
World. Yeah,
right?
okay. The
That's
castle
sick.
world. That's dope.
Give
Farm
the
life-
give the metaverse some flavor.
I'm guessing
Absolutely.
Farm Life would kind of be like a what was the Facebook game called? It's just like Farmville or something. What the hell's it called though? That's not the name of it. That's not right. Farmville. What was it called on Facebook? The huge one that exploded.
I thought that is
yeah. Was it
Farmville.
It was
Yeah, it is
Farmville.
Farmville.
Okay. I've been curious though. It seems like something that would work well within some sort of NFT space. So a metaverse like that, like a farm area, would make a lot of sense.
Right.
Well, they are going the mobile route first for a reason and targeting these kind of low-hanging fruit, in my opinion, easy, because we have so many proof of concepts of the farming, tokenomics, and other games. And the farming plays in because you need energy to play some of these mini games. So it's free to play because you just need energy. But if you really want to rank up quickly, you're going to need to restore that energy somehow. Otherwise, you have to wait for it. And it's going to take a heck of a long time to wait for it. So to restore your energy, you need food. So who grows the food? Well, you can if you own a bubble and you have maybe some crops, right, that you're growing, and you can sell those crops to people that need to restore their energy. Okay. It's like a whole different thing. And when it popped in my mind, I was like, holy crap. I was like, oh, okay. This is how they're doing it.
They're making the real world, and they're encouraging trade, like you said, commerce between each other, right? Like, hey,
real barter system.
My neighbor over here, he grows crops. I like being next to this guy over here because he's the plug right there, right? Like I'm
you can barter, you can trade, because it should be that way. It should be free and open for us to do our own commerce, but I'm sure there will be a marketplace too for people to do that kind of commerce. But you'll be able to send probably your food like you would send if I wanted to go over to TJ and just be like, hey TJ, man, I'm gonna send you this fresh NFT because I like you, something like that. That easy should be how it's going, or I send all three of you a jetpack, right? It's just like, it should be that simple. And then you guys send me a Freedom NFT of I don't know, a rocket ship or something.
There you go.
I like this. We don't need to grow anything. We can just get like a nice little legion together, get the Freedom Boys, and start doing some shakedowns. Hey, give us 10% of you got a nice cornfield here. It's a big shame if it burned down next
Be like
week,
Biff Tannen.
Yeah.
Well, if you
gave us
optimize
5% to keep it safe for you, we'd look over it. It'd be a real shame if
grab
corn burned down.
Hey, you could have Frog Dog create a virtual flamethrower and really bring the heat when you go to these farms and just threaten over, hey, we're gonna
flamethrower.
We'll be the first organized crime in the metaverse.
Right.
Yeah, you could really monopolize that kind of market there for sure.
One of the things that struck a chord for us over outside of this was the technology that these guys, they have the quality, right? Well, now they have the technology partnering up with the famous Derp Birds over here. And I definitely wanted to highlight this out because we talked about these guys and they look so ridiculous, right? Like the Derp Birds to me look so ridiculous.
I'm one of maybe 10 million, but I like their art, dude. It's one of the projects that I actually like the art. So maybe that just shows you how much of an oddball I am. Yeah, I like their art. Like I really do.
It's just unique. Like I said, it took me a sec. It took me a sec to come to terms, but don't get me wrong. I'm definitely a Derp Bird. I'm derping it hard over there.
It was an acquired taste for it.
Absolutely. I ended up minting in the Epic Derp Bird. We did the Derpling. It was fun. We did the big thing for them is the technology for me. They are a group that is, whether you like their artwork or not, the people and the team behind them, dude, there's some talented guys. And they do some really cool things inside this space. So it made sense to me that Derp Birds partnering with Cornucopias. I didn't understand it at first, but after reading through the Medium article that I got on the screen right now, it made more sense to me. Is that, think about it, they wanted to connect the Nami wallet. That was the only wallet they were going to have originally for the Bubble Jet mint, was to connect to your Nami, and then you were going to be able to mint your NFT. Now think about what Derp Birds has already done in the past with the Derplings and the eggs. They multi-sig transactions. And think about Cornucopias now minting process, having the technology that Derp Birds has, combining those two to be able to mint those bevel jets. Dude, you got quality over here. And it's going to be an amazing combination for the two. Now, did I say quality? Did I
quality come together?
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
That's I thought you wanted to say quality.
I was thinking about it in my head. I'm like, wait, I was like, quantity?
I think you're right though, Tommy. I think you're absolutely right. I think the one thing I'd add too is following the Derp team. And this might be a weird take on this, but I actually think these guys are more of your everyday, like average Joes. I've gotten a chance to talk to Dave and he gives me that vibe. What I think they've done though, is they've had ideas and they've just done them. And then they find out how to do stuff. And sometimes that's all it takes to create something really unique and build that technological prowess. Yeah. And now they've done so many different things. They've had so many ideas that they just said, hey, you know what? There might not be a way to do it. Let's create one. That now they're respected as people that have built very good technology or very good formats and blueprints for doing mints. And look at this. They just did a partnership with one of the most, if not the most anticipated metaverses on Cardano. So
For
I
sure.
just huge up to Derp Birds too. Big fan. I got a buff derp. I got 2 original derps and I got 4 derplings. Bought 1 off secondary. So
There you go, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
one of those Derp Apes coming out soon.
I know. Well, speaking of that, we'll jump to that because that their technology is the huge key to this, right? So I think the important part for the Cornucopia side is that they partnered with somebody who is going to, pioneer in the space as well, and they've got a smart team behind them. So combining the minting, technology with Cornucopias Drop is going to be amazing. And on top of that, you're going to be able to bring your Derp Birds into the Cornucopias universe. So that
I think we're
alone,
underestimating that. I think we really are underestimating that. I think Derptonia, they talk about this a little bit.
Yep.
I think the whole Preds, I think that entire IP doesn't play out through NFTs or manga. I think that plays out in the metaverse.
Agreed.
And potentially a giant battle royale that you can pick a side depending on which Pred or Derp Bird that you have, that you can become the character and fight. Potentially, I think that's going to happen.
Right? Yo, that would be. Yeah, can you imagine the dirt?
You're gonna have
Banjo Kazooie for N64. It looked just like that.
You got the derps, the Preds.
Yeah.
They're fighting off in these different inside the island, right?
You know how like Donkey Kong and Super Smash Bros can like pick people up? I think the buff derps are gonna be like the only character that will be able to do that. So if you're a buff derp, you're gonna be able to pick people up and throw them. You're gonna see the scientists have a special move. You're gonna see all these different. You're gonna see the Dave just being normal and maybe have like a hyper beam come out.
Yeah,
of
like a Team Fortress. Like they all got their own classes and roles. I definitely know what you're talking about, Donkey Kong, because that was my move to pick people up, put them on my back, jump off the edge, and throw them.
If you're a Donkey Kong, you have to do that.
Yeah,
you have to do that.
You play on Donkey Kong's level too, the little tiny island. They're at the edges, no problem. Every day.
Oh my, that's hilarious.
You land in the barrel, the other guy goes off the edge, you shoot back up, good to go. Game over.
It's how to piss off your buddies, and it works every time.
Well,
definitely works at pissing them off. That's for sure.
Or the Derp Birds are just going to come in their flock all together with the little bubbles above their head and just get derp.
You're going to hear a horn first, right? That's going to go a and then you're going to hear one derp, which is going to be Dave flying first, and then you're going to hear derp, and then you're going to just hear a sea of derps, and you're going to see these Preds all doing some Pred call that sounds robotic, and then the battle royale will start, and maybe it's a running game tournament that happens every single week, and now there's a score between the derps and Preds, and there's some prizes to be given out. I do think we're going to see that IP play out and just explode.
You've just given me the craziest idea, which I'll bring right here. Was that you just reminded me of Game of Thrones, like Jon Snow, Battle of the Bastards, like he's just standing there and everybody, the flock just comes through and then the battle just happens right between the Pred and the derps. Like that would be crazy.
Tommy, I haven't seen those.
Oh, Game of Thrones fan. Sorry,
you're gonna have a derp
came out 8 years ago.
You're gonna have a derpling in the middle that's like part cyber, like Pred, half Pred, half derpling that has the horn that sounds.
He's the bastard. Yeah, he's the guy, the middleman between the two groups, right? And he's the one who
starts the
sparks the. Yep, he starts the.
I was thinking of that Pokemon episode where the dodo bird just freaking was annoying Ash the whole time.
Oh man!
I want to say, TJ, don't you have that poster on your wall? Even too bad we have the background stuff. You have that.
I know you can't
picture.
see it.
Yeah, you can't see it now. But Jon Snow standing there with all the horses charging down.
Yeah. Well, the one thing for Derp Birds too, which we wanted to kind of bring into it, is the technology, right? Is this multi-sig transaction, and you're going to start to see this more and more as Cardano's chain is able to handle it. Right now, congestion-wise, it's tough to do these. But the really cool thing, which even I look back at the Derp Birds mint, dude, that was like early last year.
Yeah.
And they were able to mint like that. You think about the Derplings actually being able to send in your NFT, go through the incubator, take your NFT, take your ADA, and then mint on the spot a brand new
revolutionary.
NFT.
Dude, there was nothing else like it, and they built a UI to make it kind of fun.
Yes,
it was like unbelievable.
Oh, it's so much better than anything before. So many other projects have. I mean, they're still doing it where they do these. Oh, we're going to have a female version or a different version. You'll be able to mate them or make a baby or something. A lot of projects do that, but none of them have done it in a creative and actually innovative way. Like
in a lore, in a like.
Yeah, they had the UI where they had the fathers to them. They actually had like traits and stuff that they carried over to the babies. Like they did a fantastic. That was really, besides the first seeing the community just on Twitter for Derp Birds. Then when you started getting into that, Tommy, I was like, okay, this is a really cool project.
And these guys are humble. Like they stopped their mints multiple times when they saw, hey guys, there's problems. We're going to shut everything down. And literally they got a lot of criticism. But like you saw a lot of the OG derps, like, myself, subtle, like humble flex because I just like Dave and I interviewed him already. So I wasn't going to say anything mean to him. So I was supporting him. But you had a lot of criticism and they didn't care. They were like, hey guys, we're just gonna do it the right way. And they did it in such a derp fashion of like, hey guys, stuff goes wrong with the Derp Birds all the time. And that's why you invested in us too. So they took some pressure off themselves by just utilizing the fact that they're just average Joes.
I mean, I appreciate that when they pause the mint like that, especially the one for the Derp Apes. I didn't mind that. I'd rather be a quality mint and done right than just push it out like you've seen in the past before. I didn't mind that. I didn't get one, but I'm waiting for it to be released and drop the right way. I'm waiting for it.
Right.
Yeah, I totally agree.
That's one thing, like you said, they did this stealth drop right recently where if you were in the Discord you knew about it, but otherwise I actually heard it from Blake's channel, Blake's CNFT, and his Discord. He's like, hey guys, there's this website, and it was like gonna drape.in, and I had already missed some of these. They literally had this idea. It was inspired by their community and kind of came up, but what if there's so many ape projects out right now, what if we just took derps, like mixed them with like the ape version of them and made them, and it was like a community joke. That was
someone in their Discord started doing it, right? And then the community was kind of like, wow, this is fantastic. Do more of these.
Yes, they literally were like, this is an NFT project. Our artists love ape projects. So they drew them as a joke, and definitely not a bet that they lost. And he definitely was not furious when we knew he had to deliver. And it's just basically these guys, the community, it was all originated from their community over here. And basically,
you just need one of these to pop off, guys. Like one ape,
right?
One cat, one derp, something to pop off for all the OG derps to just go flying. And I mean flying.
Oh, and on top of these were flying prior to these mint being paused too. Like people were getting really excited, and they did really well. And again, they're in that derp art style, but I can guarantee you that these things, when they do open up, the big thing with derp over there was that after a while that people did start to figure out that these things were available and started to get congested during the blockchain. And like TJ said, these guys had a chance. They were like, you know what, instead of pushing this out, they're saying about 1 in every 10 transactions were failing at the time. For that multi-sig mint, and they were like, even 1 out of 10, they go, that's not good enough for us. We're going to go ahead and pause the mint. We're going to do it the right way. And they provided an update earlier in the week that said, hey guys, instead of us releasing this right now, we're going to wait a couple of weeks to get the technology right, and we'll drop it out to you guys. You guys, for the lucky people, congrats, enjoy your derps. Otherwise, we'll see you guys in a few weeks or whenever we're ready. And you got to respect that, dude.
I don't remember what he was saying, but Art Derp was kept like updating the server, and I just thought that was funny, some of the stuff he was saying on the announcements when he was pausing it. Just witty stuff he was coming up with.
It's so
in line with their whole thing, right? Every time, dude.
It's like whatever you're doing right now, just relax, go take a poop, and come back.
Well, yeah, like you would just pause the general and just say something witty like that, and then keep going. People would just give him the stupid like emojis, like the poop ones or the whatever mean ones people were posting, and I just thought he just kept being just funny about it.
They were, but at the same time, it was like, this is, you got to take it as like, this is all. Well, look at what we're doing, man. It's like these pictures of these little like derp apes and stuff like that. Like, never take yourself too seriously, man.
Yeah.
In the long haul of all this stuff, don't stress out about it, man.
Exactly.
Like,
it wasn't until you said it out loud, Tommy, though. Because I have brain worms, and I always read it as Dr. Apes every time. Just Dr. Apes. I don't know.
Dr. Apes.
I just that's all I ever see. I'm just like, Dr. Apes. Yeah, they're Dr. Apes. They're apes or doctors, sure. And when you first sent it to me, it was in a text. I was like, why is Derp Birds doing Dr. Apes? I don't like, is this like a new project? I did not get it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me, these guys are top tier when it comes to the quality and the content that they do. And I just had to share and shout them out for the fact that they're partnering with Cornucopias and just this little like stealth mint that they're doing. The technology between the multi-sig transactions, dude, is on another level.
A lot of fundamentals brewing for the derps. That's all we have to say, really.
Don't sleep on the derps. That's all I can say about them. Not financial advice, obviously. Go do your own thing, but definitely go derp in over there if you get the chance to take a chat.
If you're just chat into that Discord. If you're just looking for a fun place to chill and talk about NFTs, and their community is definitely one for sure.
Oh, 100%, man. I'm a big fan of the derps, and it's good to hear, Jay, that you are as well.
See, I was never a big fan of the art, similar to the goats too. It's just not my style, really. But the communities are so strong for that's what I see in the value of those projects. It's just how strong those communities are.
Yeah, specifically, I bought into both Derpers and the Goat Tribe just because the community was fun.
You can't ignore them on Twitter. I mean, if you're on Twitter looking at NFTs, you can't ignore them.
That's what happened to me too, dude.
Yep. So I found one of the things he wrote is he said, when he paused the chat, he said, okay, guys, going to reopen general, but I only want pictures of old ladies sipping coffee. No rowdiness in here. This is derp.
That's fair.
The stuff he was posting, it was just funny.
Makes sense.
That's dope as fuck. So
See, I like when they're able to do that, when they can roll with it,
Yeah,
you know, and
just-
have fun, as opposed to some community managers or project leads and stuff. I can understand, you know, these projects are probably their baby, so they can get so defensive sometimes because they know the work.
They're
and
trying
effort
to
they put in.
please.
Yeah,
They're trying to
and they
please
just-
people.
But sometimes someone will make a
They're
comment or something. I think it sets them off. They get a little defensive and just kind of it rubs them the wrong way. But then you get an attitude back, and then it just doesn't look good for anyone. As opposed
One
to
more,
something like
'cause-
that.
Because it's
All right,
funny.
yeah.
Come
Okay,
on.
wait, even though Mint isn't open yet, please all share your broken transaction. The more we see, the harder we work to fix it.
Well, I think it's true though. Like, there's projects that try to please because they're really trying to market and promote, and they're trying to do that. But then there's projects that are like, all right, we're gonna do the mint, and it's gonna go however it goes. And then we have the real work, which is going to be actually making the utility and making the IP and building the community out. And those projects in the middle, those are fun to find. But I definitely think that Derp is one of those rare ones where they honestly don't really care about the hype. They're like, hey, you know what? We're going to build what we build, and people like it, go for it. If they don't, you know what? No problem. If people want to give us feedback that end up buying into what we do, and we're going to take it and we'll run with it. But we're going to keep it Derp. So.
Yeah, just at the end of the day, keep it Derp. That's where it at. Never take yourself too seriously, and those guys don't, and they know their audience, and they know what they're building.
These guys do not take themselves seriously. I love it.
And that's good though. I love that. That's more fun to me. Like I'm not worried. You know, there's a time and a place.
Super humble is what I mean. Really,
Right.
like if you talk to Dave, he'll be like, "Oh, I don't do anything. I don't have any skills. I'm a nobody." But dude, that guy is smart. He's slick. He's got a great personality. He's got magnetism, and it's a good guy to be leading one of these projects.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. And then speaking of like good quality over here, we had to shout out one of our favorite, like actual true artists right now inside the CNFT space. I just wanted to shout out over here is Aeoniumsky. I know Jay, I don't know you didn't have too much of a background into this project and what this is, other than, you know, the artwork looks really dope.
I know that they're linked with Cardano, like the teams are friends. And
there's the metaverse connection. Let's go. Yeah.
That makes me bullish on a note, however you say it, Sky.
Aeoniumsky. If you had to pronounce it right off the stop, like what's your go-to? Because we've done this, we literally almost did a montage cut of this because we've pronounced it so wrong so many times.
Yeah, man, I would say Aeoniumsky because I just heard you guys say it.
So I think my go-to was Aeoniumsky was my first one that I was always Aeoniumsky. Aeoniumsky, and the Sky makes sense. And TJ, what was yours?
Aeoniumsky.
Aeoniumsky.
I just gave up on it.
That's kind of catchy, actually.
Right, and we need to get that. But the fun thing about Aeoniumsky is that this was like the true like artwork. They were doing their block drop, right? There's 24 of these, and they get released in individual blocks. So they're creating one giant picture. I know if I can bring this up, hopefully Twitter will not kill.
The detail on this thing is insane.
Twitter will kill me on this right now. If I have a sec, I'll actually pull up the.
Is that a P in the background for PAVIA? That's really.
I never actually every time I look at this, I catch something new. So you are probably absolutely right, dude.
On the bottom middle there is a P on a tower. There it looks like
they snuck in a lot of other projects in the past too, so I wouldn't be surprised.
It looks like EOS or it actually looks like a form logo, like Ethereum. But what really caught my eye is these flying beasts in the top left. I do think that that's an interesting thing as well going on. And then you have flying little UFOs in the bottom right.
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm zooming in on a different one just because
that looks like PAVIA. It looks like
it does have the P in there, right? Like there's P all over.
The Daedalus wallet square too in the right there.
Yeah, this is block I think 7 was one of the other ones. So I don't have my pool PM up, which I'm not even doing any of this justice right now. But there's so many Easter eggs inside of these different artwork, which I never even caught this. And so this is block 7, which is before the motor vehicles ever released. I never even noticed there was a fucking motor vehicle inside of here prior to the release of that ever happening. Because they've released their own motor vehicles too that float throughout space.
These guys are next level.
Dude, so that's what I wanted to showcase for Aeonium.
Thank you. I've never seen it, so I appreciate you, by the way, Tommy, and Freedom 35, because you guys are exposing me to something right now.
Dude, go take a look inside of there because they've been an OG. Like these are hardcore. When you talk about
they did the ticket for CNFTcon, the first CNFTcon too. Like they've done quite a few.
The legacy pass. Yeah, if you hold if in the 2500 club, if you hold any of their stuff, Aeonium's done the legacy pass. Dude, he's or he, I don't know. I'm not saying a he, it's a he, she. They go by they technically as like an entity. If it's a group or I don't know what it is, but we always, I never know what to call Aeonium. But all I know is that the team over there is one of the top notch. They do, they do treasure hunts inside of these things because there's so much going on inside of them. They do golden eggs that enable you to get prizes off Aeonium's marketplace inside of his actual website. They do the marble nights. People will win the marbles from Aeonium inside of Cardania's server, which they do those as well.
I want to shout out them too, because they also like pause mints when it's not done properly, in a sense. Like, so Sunday was supposed to be the mint, and a bot sniffed out all the addresses and all the reserved them all. So they literally just stopped the mint and rescheduled it the next day, just so they made sure it was done properly.
Well, that was the crazy thing to me, is that there's never been technology that I've seen that does that, right? So Jay, they were using NFT Maker Pro, because these drops originally, they used to just send an address and then first come first serve. So that's why Daedalus got created for me, because I was always trying to grab an Aeoniumsky mint back in the day. Eventually, the
very limited. I mean, this one's was 500, but this is
the most quantity ever that he's done as far as the blocks go. The blocks started off, I think, either at 125 or 150 to start back in the day, and then eventually went up to 450 was when the demand got bigger, and now they're at 500 total for these blocks. But trying to collect the block one right now from the OGs, dude, you're paying upwards of 5,000 ADA just to get block one right now. It's that expensive to get these. So what they're building is 24 of these for the first series, and it's going to make up one giant like actual picture, all interconnected if you mess around with these things. But I wanted to showcase like Aeonium on these things, because dude, the detail that they do is actually insane. And Jay, I had to pull up the pool PM just because it doesn't do it justice just looking at it on the screen over here. I had to pull this up over here if it will actually load, because the actual images inside of this stuff are just so detailed. Let's see if it'll let me load inside. Too many requests. No, we're gonna get ripped.
Perfect.
But let's see if it'll. Oh man, don't do that to me. But yeah, dude,
Gordon, get it together.
It's Gordon. Gordon doesn't like to record.
Come on. Yeah, our producer's not getting this thing together for us ahead of time.
No. Yeah.
I'm seeing a little bit of flutters of workingness.
It'll work inside of here. It's just a matter of will it let me load it? Because there is so much detail inside of these things. Here we go. Here's one for you guys. I got you.
There we go.
Okay. So this is block 7 right now still, right? So this is one of the ones where they had the motor vehicles. And again,
this is the one from earlier, the one with the P on it. Yeah.
Correct.
It looks like almost a PAVIA logo. I wonder if it is.
So if you zoom into these things, like it's not going to let me zoom big, but you can see like the marbles. There's the block 7. There's all these little Easter eggs inside of here. There's the Daedalus. The Daedalus as well. Like there's they reference the marbles a lot. If I had my other block 9 one up, that would actually load. That's the one that has like the dance party. They have like Yummi, they have Corn and friends and different people inside the community. That it looks amazing, dude. The detail is next level with these things. So I can only imagine what people are going to see when actually the full picture comes through, because it will not do this thing justice.
This is like, and I'm a utility guy, but this is like one of the rare things that I'm looking at right now. And I'm saying, holy sugar. I would buy one of those display frames from Nano, like a huge one.
Yep.
And I would buy one of these in a heartbeat to display it in real life. Because this has too much detail not to.
Same thing. Tommy's got a nano frame.
Yep.
Someday on the way, if they can get these COVID and supply chains. Hey, old man, control. There you go. Thank you.
There you
control mouse wheel in. Let's see.
I'm just gonna say that, but I don't want to call him out on it.
hey, you can call me out.
No, these supply chains. You're right, man. It's probably gonna get a little bit worse before it gets better, but we'll see what happens. I'm sure that they'll deliver. I believe in the Nano team. So we'll see what happens.
We'll have to send you some of these links too, Jay, because even on this, like Zoom, I think is 25 frames or something. So even, we get cucked pretty hard here with this broadcast, because it's like the color and the quality and everything looks so much better. This is all like, you get that kind of fuzzy effect and it's lagging and stuff. So seeing them in person or, and actually like on your
computer. That's what I'm thinking, man. Like to see them in person would be unbelievable on like a nano frame.
That was one of the reasons I ordered between Cardano trees and then Aeoniumsky, dude. Those were the two that I was like, nano frames are perfect for this, because I want to see this stuff, just flying around them, and he did actually a drop with a guy named Jameson Daniel Music, where they actually did these motor vehicles that were like flying in space and kind of moving, and they had like a audio track like in the background of it too. And man, there were some of the coolest looking things that, you know, as far as artwork goes, like and these are all fun. Technically they're fungible tokens, right? Because there's 500 of these same ones right here, and they still sell ridiculous. The demand for these things are crazy. So it is a true art project over there. And that's why, like you said, they partnered up with Cardania to get into the metaverse. And I have no idea what that partnership is going to do, what that's going to happen, and how that's going to look inside of Cardania's metaverse. But it
It's
fits
going to be
perfectly.
sick.
It
It's
fits
going to
perfectly.
be amazing. I can tell you guys that. I just want to give a huge shout out to because these guys, I help with the Marble Night too. So huge shout out to the team because they did a beautiful job. I have so much more respect. Like I had respect, but I didn't really know what these guys were doing.
Yeah.
That they're talking on the Marble Night sometimes. And now that I do, I'm like, wow, man, these guys really did a great job. So huge.
Well, it's next level stuff, man. Like I see for the last one, I'll show you the motor vehicle if it'll load for me right here. But look at this, man. Like this is just the detail, and in the background, if you had the audio on right now, it's playing, blasting some music over here. And these are the motor vehicles that he went ahead and released as well. But even these, like everything, like there's always so many little moving parts. Like there's always an Easter egg.
It's so cool. Holy crap!
Like it's insane. So you should definitely go check out the Aeoniumsky collection if you haven't yet. It's a collection to definitely. It's visually one of the most coolest projects I've seen inside the space, and let alone anywhere. And not just inside of Cardano, but
no,
anywhere.
Not just inside of Cardano. This is impressive stuff.
Yeah. So
I don't think I'd seen your music one, Tommy. I've seen the ones that, you know, kind of have like the more traditional like sedan look, or like they almost look like the DeLoreans, like the hovering DeLoreans. I hadn't seen that one you had though. It's like a VW van and like a rickshaw mixed together.
Yeah.
That's a Cardania. Like he's going to be picking us up in that thing and driving over and raiding some clan.
100%.
No doubt.
Well, Cardania fits perfect with them, right? Because Cardania has the terraforms that are they're so unique and colorful compared to any of the other Landverse and Metaverse like plots that are out there. The world that they're building is all so colorful. And you've introduced something like this. It's like the perfect combination, right? Of the two coming together. And just, I know the level of detail of this project mixed in with the Metaverse that already it's been around for such a long time as well. Dude, they're gonna cook up something sick. And I just wanted to shout.
And it's gonna be really sick, just like that pizza right there. So I totally agree.
Bro, for sure, man. And just wanted to shout them out because they had 500 drops. They utilized NFT Maker this last mint. And the cool thing about this, Jay, was that the day before when they did the drop, bots instantly reserved. They got the address a few minutes early, got the address and reserved all 500 of the NFTs, and 70 of those 500 ended up minting. He went in because the policy was actually open at that time, and I'll have to find it right here because he actually voided out those NFTs that got minted. And I'll do it over here while we're sitting here talking. But basically, that was one of the cool. I've never seen anybody really do that because when like say something goes wrong, people usually just tend to push it out and like, sorry guys, there's nothing really we could do. Like someone got into it and then we had to sell it, and sorry, we'll catch you guys on the next one kind of thing.
Bots.
Dude, insects.
It reminds me of little insects that are crawling all over you.
God,
that's what bots are like in Discord, just crawling all over the place, trying to exploit.
Oh yeah, and this time around, this guy, he did the right thing, which was shutting it down and then actually issuing out the refunds to anybody who had a problem with it, and then voiding the transaction. So I have to go back and actually find the actual thing. If I don't have it here, it's fine. I'll go ahead and we'll pull it up another day. But yeah, it was fun. He actually grayed out this whole block 10 right here. That you were seeing on the screen, and it said void. It just was all gray and it said void, do not buy. So everybody who bought it and minted it, they weren't able to really sell anything.
I like how they have the giant marbles like all over the place too. It's like a weird kind of thing to have, but it's kind of cool.
This is one of the golden eggs too. Back in the day when he did his drops, they would release, you had a chance of getting a golden egg. And then you would go ahead and actually be able to log onto the Aeonium site and claim that golden egg for a reward over here. It's fun right now because we're actually like introducing you into the project a little bit, just giving you a background. It's fun to talk about.
Totally. 100%. That's exactly what's happening.
And these, some of the marbles, what they've done in the past, everything. This is the legacy pass over here for the CNFT con, which they did.
There's a Buffy bot too right there. You guys just got your Buffy bots.
Yep. And then this thing as well.
By the way.
So Jay, this was one of the cool things we had talked about prior to this thing. He was doing a test mint to test out the new minting system. He went ahead and released for 7 ADA, and people were able to buy this for 7 ADA. And if you looked at like the details of this thing, it was, that's awesome. That actually brings you to Pool PM. But you could actually
1,000,
see that,
yeah.
yeah, 7 ADA for this thing. And he released, I think,
dope.
1,000, right? Like, can you imagine like that kind of artwork on another project, man? Like you're spending, you know, a bunch of ADA to go ahead and get that. But over here for 7 ADA, it was just a fun thing. And this guy is amazing, or girl, or whoever it is that's running this project.
Well, I think if it's the same people I'm thinking of, it is a guy and a girl, and they're both like very spunky. They have a good, like, positive vibe attitude. And I think that they hop onto the Discord, Marbles Twitch stream, and they talk about Aeonium.
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 We're gonna get it. Are you okay?
And it's very interesting because they're wicked positive, and they seem pretty intelligent and just really fun too. So
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of like their personalities already. Now seeing their artwork, I'm like really impressed, to be honest with you.
And it's crazy too, because they've always, every single mint up until this one, prior to the NFT maker being involved, was always only 22 ADA. Was only 22 ADA. And then after this one was 26 ADA for the extra fee for NFT maker. But I don't know what kind of quality artwork people are getting these days for that kind of price. And it's a long-standing series. Like I said, if you're trying to complete the set, good luck, man. You better have some deep pockets in ADA right now, because it's hard to get those things.
You had to engineer this freaking thing. Look at this thing. Like you had to have like an engineer, and then you had to have somebody color in the different parts.
And even this, like this little box, it gets shrunk.
I know, right?
And drops right there. And that's
and then the language that's scrolling across there that says checking systems.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even see that. See, like you catch something new every time.
I didn't check that. I've never seen that checking system before.
Yeah, every time I look at it, you find something new. You got the Cardano logo just coming on the side.
FU bots or like something like that.
Well, that was pretty much what he told these people, right? With that being able to actually do the void thing. Like he's just like, no, sorry, the void, you're voided right now. You guys don't get your NFT. Like you guys thought you did, but it's not happening right now. Actually, I have it. Let's see if I want to show you it.
I wonder, did those people get refunds?
This is what ended up happening to the NFT for block 10. They just void, do not buy, and they grayed it out over there. So that's they were able to actually do that the next day and shut that policy down, and they ended up changing the policy for the new mint.
There's only 70 of those voided ones, huh?
So now people, I think, are trying to collect these though too, because of course they become like infamous at this point, right?
They become part of the story.
Yep. And so
I bet you the bots have probably tried to offload them, so it's not like they're gonna be profiting.
Well, if it's a good thing, I'm glad you got a chance to check that out. If you do, go check out Aeoniumsky. They have like that psychedelic art, that Neo theme. Like it's so cool, man. It's a cool universe.
What's the koala one, Tommy? Do you know what that koala?
They're partnered. I think they're in a partnership right now with they call it Cheeky Unts. I don't know if I've seen that project. I've seen it around, actually, the name.
Cheeky Unts. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's okay. So it's definitely very Australian. All right.
Very. It's I guess they're donating over $50,000 to Australian wildlife charities.
Awesome. Wow.
So that's a cool collab for them too. To shout out to those guys for that. But I just wanted to quick talk about it. But here we are, giving a full disco. That's the next topic. Breakdown into this right here. Disco. I'm reading that over. I'm like, because of course, Disco Solaris, that was the next like big mint that happened this week with that Neo Miami style artwork, which we talked about last week. And I was a big fan of the drop, because they've got game devs built into this who have like 12 to 15 years of experience. They have a music partner with Amber VHS, who does like the music videos and live stuff for these guys. And they're building like this Neo, like kind of Tokyo, Miami, whatever kind of vibe to them. And they have some the artwork, Tom, like you were very complimented of that.
Oh, I like it a lot. I'm a big fan. I like how there's different, you can tell they've taken the time, it's not just a copy paste layered job. Like they're facing different directions, their shoulders, their eyes, and their head, actually have like some depth to them. It looks really good.
Oh, I'm a big fan of it. Jay, were you involved or heard anything about this project at all?
After we talked the other night, I did look into them a bit, and I mean, I'll just give my macro thesis on a project like this. Number one, Neo Miami, I think that's super interesting, especially if they can do anything in the real world in Miami, which I think that we briefly talked about the other night. Number two, I think with these kinds of projects that just have a wild kind of cyberpunky but Neo Miami twist on it, it's really IP generation. And this almost reminds me of like a Charles Hoskinson, which I think it's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be, yeah. And this is the all-time sale so far at 5,000 ADA already since it
which
minted.
Makes it's the GOAT, but he's the Hokage of the Cardano village, I like to say. The interesting thing about it though is what they can do in the metaverse to me, man. It all goes back to the metaverse. I really think that whether they do their own game and stuff, I think that they stand to only gain by opening up their own parcel and a place like PAVIA and having a community and maybe even building a game inside that, because I think what the metaverse offers projects like these that can get a community of a certain type of people that resonate with the artwork is a virtual hangout place to meet up, and maybe game design functionality that comes with building on top of the platform that is the metaverse. So I wouldn't put it as like I wouldn't say that this has no potential, because everything almost does now. The way that I look at the market, it's crazy.
Oh, yeah. We the way we looked at it, you know, we looked into, you know, these guys have they have some docs members on their team actually. So it's not like they're, you know, they're incognito. The Discord already, they have over 12,553 members in there right now. They're partnering up with other projects as well now that they're out there, and they did insane volume within the first few days over here, which you know, I pulled that up over here. They've already traded you know, with what is that, for 364,000 ADA within, what was it, a day of stuff already. So it's insane. You know, there's demand for it. There's only 5.8 thousand of these things. The big thing though, that, you know, outside of the mint itself, was people were super frustrated because there was such demand for this project. They were utilizing NFT Maker as well, and they basically broke NFT Maker, the website, because the bots did, because there were so many requests. There was over like 1 million requests or something.
So many seaplanes.
So many, dude, the seaplane meme started coming out because of this stuff. Like literally, like people, I don't know if you've ever grinded the captchas to go ahead and NFT Maker to try to get through, but dude, literally it's like, what is the, you know, airplane, seaplane, and people started literally making jokes about like the seaplane itself, because they were like, it became such like a thing inside the community. But basically broke the NFT Maker, which is insane.
Completely.
So,
it was just down, like you couldn't do anything.
Not like nothing at all. And it was just reloading because there were so many, like it was trying to process so much because there was such demand for this job. But the one thing I did, you know, the community inside there got really upset. I don't know if it, again, this is where you attract such a big following that, you know, if it doesn't go well, you're mint, then all of a sudden you attract, you know, so maybe the wrong people in there that were upset that they didn't get that mint. These guys had a very big backlash inside the Discord of like, you know, the shit emojis, the clown faces, all the dumb stuff that people do.
Yeah.
And it was because they didn't get their NFT, because most likely they were trying to flip and make their money, right? So
probably a good thing though, right? Like for the long-term health, it seems like the floor price fell a little bit. So it might be, for people that are interested, it might be a good entry point soon.
Oh, absolutely. Well, the floor when it kicked off originally was 258 yesterday when it originally kicked. So they dropped down. So all the flippers are going to do their thing. And I think as time goes on, if these guys are, you know, going to prove who they are, they do claim that they are not a metaverse project. They are not going to be like building their own metaverse. But I think they are looking to build their own world.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. But they could, like you said, that being able to utilize or connect with a PAVIA or one of those things.
I think projects, you know, it's funny. I think if PAVIA becomes, or Cornucopias becomes a place that we all go to when we're bored to talk to random CNFT people, then yeah, these projects are going to be like, okay, I got to buy a plot because this is where the traffic is and I can actually make more utility for my audience. That's just where my thesis comes into these type of PFP projects.
Yeah, for sure. And it's the hype is one thing. I think that's where we talked about it last night on Taco Tuesday about what the minting process is going to look like going forward with all the big demand, especially. Topic. Yeah. And it's just, dude, it's a big thing though in the space right now. Like we're getting to the point now where you almost have to stealth drop something with your own community, where you have to whitelist out of the ass for make sure that it's botted protection. Like seriously, like Future Fest, shout out to them today for their mint. It went really well as far as, you know, the reservation system and the whitelisting system and what they're doing. Yes, it's congested, but, you know, you have to figure out ways to go ahead and actually implement these to fight off the bots right now, because the demand is starting to get bots,
here. Man. It's robots versus humans already, guys.
Dude, and we're about to go into their world here soon in this metaverse with those VR glasses, dude. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a war. It's that Jon Snow. Just I'm sitting there waiting. You know?
Well, 100% though, like the congestion, that's out of their hands. You know, it's not project controls how much congestion is in the blockchain, but as far as what they do is for their mint, that's all on them. So now, you know, with what they've seen and how many other people have essentially beta tested or gone through the trial and error of showing this is how you do it and this is how you don't do it. They have all the information available to them to kind of build on that and make sure they get a clean mint that the community that actually wants it is there to get it, and not just a bunch of bots that are going to flip it immediately for all those kids that didn't get it because they weren't able to because of the bots.
Right. And
Bots, yeah.
I'm curious like how these new mints are going to continue to go, man. It's but I do enjoy PAVIA.
PAVIA be the big one. That's a big test coming up because, like you said, Jay, like their
Yes.
second drop was just a mess. I mean, people
got
were able to still get
criticized.
them, but I mean, people were very upset that
They
I
got
mean,
criticized, man.
usually I think they're upset because they didn't get their free money for doing nothing other than click the
That's why they
buttons.
were, right?
That's usually
Right.
why they're
I
upset.
wasn't
but,
upset. I
yeah.
didn't mint, but
Yeah, if
I'm
you-
not upset. Like
If you really want to
it's-
get in, you'll buy.
Yeah.
If you're
you know,
trying to
early on the
build-
secondary, yeah.
if you're trying
Yeah,
to
if you-
build and you believe that it can go where a lot of us think it can, you don't care if you're buying it right now at 700 ADA.
Right.
You're
Mhm.
like,
Well-
damn, okay, I'm glad I have this one measly humble plot to do
Yeah.
whatever I want on.
Mhm.
Well, that was like the evolution of mine too. I bought a PAVIA plot on the first sale for 37.8 or 39.8 or whatever it was at the time. And I didn't know
Nice.
anything about it. I just decided to buy it because it was something popular. I just degened into everything during those days. And but decided to
during
mint just
those
one.
days.
Like it
During
was
those-
back in
during
like
those
October
days.
or whatever it was. Yeah.
You've been to like everything.
mean
the
like
past
last
2
week?
weeks? Yeah. So
True.
kids, Bright
Yeah, dude,
Pals,
back in the day.
Disco
Right.
Solaris.
Tonight.
Back in my day.
Back for
Disco.
though for PAVIA's second land
Uh,
sale, I literally had to utilize data lists, and fortunate enough for me, I was able to actually get my mint to go through and mint it in a state on the second land sale.
That's
Um,
insane, bro.
Yeah, so I
We're all
ended up
gonna be
selling.
hanging out with you, man.
No, I flipped it though. So I flipped my estate around. For me, I was scared.
When did
I was scared.
you don't need to actually, but if you
No.
want to, feel free. When did
No.
you like sell?
I got it. So for me, just personally, there was so much I was worried. Risk investment for me was worried because the pricing for those estates were pushing like 5K
Yeah.
for the estate at that time. And just personally, it was right around like Christmas time. So
That
for
makes
me,
sense, bro.
what I ended up doing is I ended up flipping it for like the whatever it was, like that price point at the time for estates prior to the airdrop, which I know we're going back, but what I did was I reinvested back into 3 new plots that were near the portals and the stadium. I'm
Oh, cool,
I'm
dude.
7 plots away from the stadium right now over on one of my other land things. So I
Are you
jumped
to the
back
right
in.
or left or
I'm to the
above
right
it?
of the bottom of the right of the stadium. Like I forget where
Let's
I'm at
go.
exactly, but yeah, I'm right down there just hanging
I'm
outside.
like probably your neighbor, dude. I have a plot down there.
I'm like negative. I figure it's like negative 139, maybe
Where's,
somewhere down there.
Where's
Yeah.
K-Dog's plot
There-
at, Tommy?
yeah,
Where's
yeah,
K-Dog at?
my parents over there too. I bought them a plot inside the metaverse.
Yeah.
That was the one thing I got them the airdrop for the token, so I was able to utilize that. But yeah, I was able to make some money. So my biggest thing was like I wanted to capitalize on profit and still get back into the project, and
Yeah,
that was my strategy.
How
for
can
it.
you not? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
totally cool, man.
Yes, but and again, coming up on this third land sale here, it's like you would love to get back in there because I don't assume that the floor will go below 80 on the mint price, but don't quote me on that. Obviously, it's not financial advice. It could tank, and we could all be sitting here, but I just
I'd
don't.
be
I think it's
happy
highly
if it
unlikely.
tanks. Like
right?
if PAVIA's price goes down there, man, I'll be the first to buy.
I'll be
yeah.
sniping.
For sure. I think
I'll
it's
be
gonna
sniping
be,
it.
I just don't think it'll ever get to that thing. So I think, with all the attention on it, it's huge.
Well, with the POVs too, like some alpha real quick, and I don't want to talk about PAVIA too much because I'm going to become a PAVIA. I'm going to become a
spokesman,
PAVIA.
dude.
You guys
Yeah.
are going to know me as, oh, he's a real PAVIA.
JCRYPTO the PAVIA.
But it is kind of cool with the POVs because if you own land before the snapshot, you get an OG collector's edition pop. So that will be like the first OG. That will be like the Squirtle like Charmander or Bulbasaur of the POV
Really?
collection.
Now you've already got me interested. Pokemon, dude, I'm already back in. So
Well, that's how you get people, right?
Yeah, right.
Play the
Absolutely.
Pokemon.
Absolutely. I wanted to, I know.
But
dude,
no one should buy because then that will make it harder for me to purchase, guys.
That's what I always say.
TJ
See,
doesn't
I say
buy
it every
stuff,
week.
right?
I say it every week for that.
It's smart, right? Because you don't
Projects
want
we
people
talk
to
about,
buy.
don't buy it.
Make sure you got your Roy wallet all ready to go on Friday.
Hey, mint from the exchange. No, don't ever do that.
Go in a parking garage where there's no service and then mint.
Yeah, maybe through a tunnel, or if you got a subway ride home.
The taco
perfect
tunnel.
time.
Yeah. Well, one thing I wanted to quick transition to mention over there, because I thought is a very interesting and a little bit of a spicy topic over here was Jay. I don't know if you've heard of the ADApes Society. at all.
Yeah.
They're another
We got
ape project, but we had to follow up with these guys because we got called out last week.
We
By
called
these guys.
ourselves out. I mean, we saw the floor and we're like, this is crazy. I'd never heard of this. That's a wild floor. So like we just mentioned it because of that. And then
Yeah.
We had
And
to
we-
look into it for sure.
we were actually genuinely interested in why the price of these things were doing so well. I've seen the project,
makes
but
sense.
I didn't know anything about the project. So the community, we told the community basically in an open invite was like, guys, reach out to us if you can, and kind of let us know why is this project doing what it's doing so far. And the big thing for them, which we got educated, we had a bunch of people reach out to us, they DM'd us, and they kind of threw us, some basic just fundamentals of what this thing is doing. And I think, let me double check it. That's not the one. I have an actual.
Because if they're trying to do something good, I want to cover them. Like, that's all I'm gonna say.
Well, so they got some shit today, or they gave some shit back to the guys over at NFT Update. The guy NFT Justin and DZ over there.
Oh, really? Okay.
They gave some shit back to them because I guess they won a poll to cover them, right? And I guess in the poll, basically the guy NFT Justin was just driving. He's pretty much just like, look, do your own research kind of thing on this project. This thing may not be doing well, and not saying this project's going to do great, and don't ape into the ADApes Society, and kind of gave it more of a negative undertone to it than it was like a positive thing. And dude, their community like just basically blasted these guys. Yeah, they was like, what the fuck is this, dude? Like, I thought you guys were covering us. We won your poll, and instead you're kind of trying to shit on us. And that was the thing to it. Well, I guess, outside, the guy was like, I wish I would have seen more traits and this, the drops for this stuff. But what we didn't really understand is there's a deeper layer to this stuff, is that each of these different, you see the family names for these different apes out there. Well, all of them have a certain last name. And I think there's 32 of them total, and they have a tier list, like a family like hierarchy built into them. And
okay.
I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name.
Medici? Yeah,
Medici?
like
Da Vinci.
Was that Da Vinci's patron?
Yeah.
Or
I'm not sure.
That was the Medici's, yeah.
But this guy was the one that sold at 100,000 ADA for that ape. And so there's each one of these all have their own family names, and they go by different classes: nobles, royal advisors, military offers, merchants, explorers, artists, and craftsmen. And each one of these has like their own royalty, their own king. So you see a crown, an ape with a crown, they're the head of that family. And there's only one there's 35 of them total. So you see the sales for those things go crazy. But there's actually a hierarchy system, and every single one of these NFTs are individually named. They all have an individual name with unique, that's their unique like name, like trait to them, outside of the artwork itself. So
which is one of the cooler things. Like, I really like that a lot. That's one of my favorite things about it, is when you see the breakdown, and also the names are fun too. They're not just like lame
before
names.
you close it too, Tommy, what would you guys, which one would you be? I would definitely be a freaking craftsman, dude. I'm at the bottom of the ladder out here.
Dude, I would have said craftsman only because like Thomas and Tommy, that's the name right there. Why would I not want to rock my own name? But I was like, guys, is there a Thomas?
That sounds like a lot of work.
And then I was like, wait, I'm at the very bottom of the tier.
I might be
a royal advisor. Can I just I don't want to be the royals. They're the ones that get their heads chopped off. I want to be the guy behind it. Like, yeah, that's a good idea. And then, go drink some wine. I want to be Tyrion.
With my minting luck, I would be in the bottom, but the last name I want with Balboa. I'm a Rocky Balboa fan.
The Balboa. Jay, what was your name be if you had to pick one?
No, I was just gonna say too, explorers, are in my mind innovators as well.
Yeah,
they do tend to be the ones that need to eat the poisonous berries. So it's not the one that I might want to partake in. I would, what, guys, I didn't see merchants, guys. I'd be a merchant, obviously.
You'd be a merchant, okay.
Yeah.
So if you had to choose
markets, so I guess if I was to do one of these,
that's a tough name to pronounce.
Cataldi, Ventucci,
Cataldi,
Chiesa, Amato.
I would definitely pick one of the C's.
Okay.
I don't know why, but I would pick one of the C's. Yeah.
JCRYPTO Cataldi. That sounds good right there.
Cataldi. Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
maybe. But yeah, so I think that's the uniqueness. But they didn't mention anything, and that was the whole point to this article of what they were saying is like, you guys didn't even really research our project. You just kind of gave us like a bad light of like the artwork and like traits. So you really didn't do any deep diving.
Yeah, there's more depth.
Did you see, Tommy, the one they both were posted? I'm not as familiar with them just because I don't really follow those kind of guys. I try to kind of keep within our own space.
They tweeted at me the other day. It made me pretty happy. They tweeted that to me and Timmy. And they said that we both had potential, so they kind of buttered me up. Kind of like, all right, I got to look into these guys.
But they both posted video responses to this whole thread, Tommy. And
did they really?
I don't know the two difference between their names. Well, it wasn't DZ because DZ was just on
NFT. Justin,
it must have been Justin then, and he just kind of said, which was to his, to be fair, like he wasn't super negative, I guess, as they're saying. They didn't really shit on the project, but in his video, he kind of says, oh, well, all I really mentioned was there wasn't a lot of traits. I would have liked to see more traits that seem kind of common. And I think what ADApes here was more frustrated with was that may be somewhat true. There's not a whole lot of ear variations you can do for apes. You know, it's kind of be within that ape look, but they have that whole family list and they didn't even go over that. Like one of the bigger things, like some of the better highlights of the actual project, the DAO, the amount of money they've now raised for purchasing, and the other things they've done, just the families, the different traits within those families that they have in the community, the job titles, like they didn't go over any of that. They just kind of like, oh, there's not a lot, of traits.
I'm gonna just say it now, man. I don't know if ADApes Society is going away. I think that this might. I mean, it has a couple of things that I didn't realize that we're talking about right now, but it also has that very unique art style, which is like literally painting.
Yeah, it looks like brushstrokes, right? You can like literally see it.
So I just, I don't see this one going away.
No, well, they obviously have a big voice, and I'll tell you that. Go jump in their Discord, man. They it was constant like support. They were very like, hey, we really appreciate your content covering us and this stuff like that. But they were also like, here's the education portion of this. Like, let us fill you in on a little bit about what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
And the whole thing to this thread though, basically was like, the whole point was you guys didn't do any research. You guys emphasized do your own research on your channel, but you proceeded to do zero of your own. So that was, a little dig at them, but in a right. I guess if you're covering your brands, is our project, your baby. If somebody's covering you in the wrong way, you're gonna have a voice about it, And the big thing is, like you said, the record sales volume, the wallet holder ratio, I guess, is up there. 120,000 wallet, which I know they were talking about their DAO, the community DAO that they're involved in. So there was an all-time sale of 100,000 ADA, like we said, the top family being that, and the first project to have full unique names for every ape. I guess they had more volume.
Two partnerships I'd love to see them do is in ADApes Society. If you guys are listening to this, first of all, just need to put it out there that on Blake's live stream, I didn't really know that I would be going into ADApes. I really thought that it was going to be like, a separate segment completely from the interview. Right. So I didn't know anything about them. ADAO would be a great partnership that I would love to see. And then for these family names, guys, think of how cool it would be to have some kind of ADA handle collaboration.
Ooh, there you go. Oh yeah, if you had your ADA handle tied to your ADA 8, like I know there was a joke in there, which I still need to follow up on, but based on that tier system that we were talking about, right? They had, I guess, the Taylor. There was some guy just joking about the Taylor family, like, oh, just don't be a Taylor or something like that, or just joking.
Yeah, you don't want to be a Taylor. Like, I know a Taylor. He's one of my best friends. Do not be a freaking Taylor. I'll send a clip to him after this.
These guys in the Taylor family are gonna love this. But that was the thing, like, don't be a Taylor.
Sorry, Taylor.
Well, they got the royal families though. That makes sense too. Like all the royal families fighting amongst each other and everything like that. So they definitely have that all built in, or they can go that route, no problem.
So you want to be a merchant,
Interesting enough too is, like I said, I didn't know they had more volume than any NFT project on Solana, with a chain that's 7 times the volume of Cardano. So if that, the stats on that are true, I mean, that's definitely interesting, right? Like these guys are.
Well, it just goes to show you how undercovered Cardano really is by the mainstream.
100%.
It's only a matter of time before these guys start covering our ecosystem more.
And you're going to get people
too.
That's what I was going to say. Not shitting on these guys at all. And I guess he did, like you said, I'll watch this video after.
There's a couple now. They posted like 3 or 4. Look, he's got like 4 videos in a row there.
Hey, if anything, the ADApes have a good community. Don't piss these guys off, dude, because they're going to.
And it's more just like, there's no point in doing this at this point. Like you said, your thing, you made your video. Like now you're just getting into petty arguments back and forth. Like,
yep.
I just don't understand the point. Keep moving forward and be progressive.
The one flip side I'll say to this is I actually think BitBoy, there's a lot of good to what he's doing. There's people that tweeted to me today that had ADApes PFPs that were like, these guys are scammers. Here's a bunch of scams. And maybe that's true. I don't know. But the one thing I will say is I think there's elements to what BitBoy is doing as a content creator that I just can't be like, he's all bad. And having these guys come into the ecosystem is kind of what we all want. Maybe they're just really busy and haven't been able to dedicate the time and thought that, oh, okay, well, a piece of content like this, me driving with not a lot of information on this project is fine. I'll post that and everyone will be happy. And it turns out that was not the case, which is fine too. But I just think that, these guys are also covering so much different stuff. Maybe it was just a quick little thing to push out more content, and it got a lot of engagement. So I don't know.
I agree, because a lot of their videos are just kind of driving around. That was the ADApes. I think just their community itself.
They're always in the car, man. That's all.
I just think they were kind of disappointed in that a little bit, because I think they, you know, for the most
They
part,
thought
it
if
seemed
they
like
won the poll, they'd
yeah,
get
they were
something
going to get the
good,
kind of the
classic.
research behind
Yeah.
it. Like they're going to put a quality video in
Expectations were
for the
yeah.
poll, because it sounds like they do
Makes
act, you know,
sense.
they value what the videos they make, and they also know the influence and power they have in the space. So they think
Right.
they were excited to see that, and I think we're just kind of a little let down with what they got out of it. I mean, they're probably let down from our video too. We were like, yeah, these are cool monkeys. His name's Bartholomew. All right, nice.
Yeah,
He's worth
seriously.
500.
Yeah. Like,
If that's why I feel like these guys may have put, when I saw the bloodlines, because the bloodlines, obviously these guys have put a lot of thought into this thing, and I'm excited. I think there's layers to this, so I'm gonna have to do some research myself.
There's the whole hierarchy system, which I know they would probably like rip us right now if I didn't mention that the DAO, right, that they had. So they had 120,000 ADA from the Treasury wallet is going to open shortly to fund community proposals as well as unique perks for classes. So artists get whitelist spots on the project collabs, and merchants get part of the distribution from merch profits. So there's some
doing
extra
a merch play.
Yeah,
so it's
but the merchants
merchants.
class, but there's merchant class there, right? So you have the
Yeah.
merchants there, those families, like, so that's a cool, unique system right there that they could kind of play on. Like, hey, the merchants get these perks, these guys get this perk. If you want to tier up, that's a reason to jump classes or you know, try to get a different ape in a different class. They literally are creating like a hierarchy system in there. And one thing the guy did
Like
mention
apes.
to me. Literally,
like apes, dude.
like Planet of the Apes, like there's literally just like levels to it, right?
Shoot, dude.
Like I think it was cool because basically what these guys were saying is like, don't look at the rarity rank. It's all about like the class like system, and like the visual traits are really how these people but the class system heavily weighing obviously on the pricing. If you look at the tier for these things, like the higher ranked classes or last names sit so much higher in value than the lower ones.
So the one thing I'll say about this project is it has huge potential to explode. I just think that the interesting part about it is, for someone like myself, I wonder if there's a class that doesn't need a lot of, like, this would be a really fun project to have as your sole NFT, that you just really commit your full time to this community. And I think they're going to get people like that are hardcore in this project. Because
go check the Discord, bro. I'm telling you, go look in there, man. They literally legit refer to themselves as their name, the last name. They band together. They
the jungle
groups.
They're gonna change their names in real life. They're gonna be ADApes for the rest. Their next children are gonna be the future with the same last name. And I just think that it becomes a lifestyle what these guys are developing, which is different from a lot of projects that we've seen.
I like the uniqueness, right? They're not just going for all the random ass. I mean, there are some random ass traits in
depth,
there,
man.
but there's layers to it outside
People find
the surface
value
level.
in that.
Yeah.
Well, and you can tell they care
community
too. After our video, Tommy, I mean, right away, I think you looked in the Discord and people were like, hey, go to this guy's video and tell them what's going on, because they have no idea what the hell they're talking about.
Basically were
and
chatting
we had
about
so
us
many
in
people
there.
come into our chat and start leaving comments and stuff. And that's where I heard, I'm not going to remember his name now because I'm terrible with remembering people's names, Rodolfo or Geraldo. But he was saying, you know, that it's like, yeah, they call it the jungle. Like, it's just crazy in there, the amount of stuff that goes on, and then kind of broke down everything else. They had a couple of people comment. That was the big one that stood out. I mean, he wrote a whole paragraph trying to, you know, key us into this so we could actually learn more about it. So you can tell that they truly care about their community and project and getting the word out there to get more people in that actually are interested.
Absolutely.
I think what they've done is they've taken the ape concept and they've really enhanced it and developed some different layers and flavors that are exotic to what we've seen with a traditional NFT project. And they've put different spices in and created an entire different texture. And now the meal is completely different than anything that we've been able to taste in the CNFT space.
It's definitely interesting to me that there's a hierarchy system inside of an NFT community.
Think if you're like a royal guard and you can tell a craftsman, hey, shut up. Like, I'm higher than you. What are you doing? It's
let me flex on you like that. You actually have power inside that like community because your NFT
I'm way more higher. Yeah, I'm way more secure than you, bro. So shut up. I'm gonna mute this guy.
Yeah, get him out of here. They just kick him out. Like, no. I'm curious how the ADApe community. I had to shut that out though because it was. I'll have to go catch it back on the drama.
Well, Tommy,
you lowly craftsman.
Before you get off this, you should flex that follow button up there on your TFLNY account.
Yeah. Oh, my I'm so bad about this, right? I follow us on
because you run both accounts. So yeah, you probably have like so many of these that you're like, did I retweet and like that from this account?
I get exposed so many times on my YouTube videos when I haven't followed a Discord project that I love. I'm like,
Well, you know, the problem is that there's somebody watching this video that's sitting there. We're talking about it. We're having so much fun. And the guys on top of this motherfucker's not even following them. Screw this guy. And then here we are. Boom. I got you. I got you, dude. Don't worry. I promise we follow you on the other account, man.
That's hilarious. Dude.
You know, shout out to ADApes Society though.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I think it, you know, I don't know the situation on both ends, but if anything, we're here covering you right now and, you know, giving you guys, you know, hopefully a better platform to go ahead and expose what you guys are doing over here.
And I wouldn't, and if ADApes is true, and this is just for the audience, if ADApes is truly in it for the long term, then I don't think ADApes needs to worry about the initial criticism, because that's natural. Whenever a project explodes out of nowhere, you're going to have people wondering why. And it's going to take some time for people to understand what the heck is going on here. But if they're in it for the long term, they're going to be just fine, because people are going to start to see their value over time.
Absolutely.
100%. Because you never know. Is this just the hype and it's going to die in a
never
week
know.
and no one's going to know?
Careful.
Or are
especially
these guys
us
for real
as content creators.
Absolutely, dude. And it's, I mean, they have a really nice, actually the website looks really clean. I really love this art style right here. It's like the painted brush. Like it looks really nice. They always, all the apes inside of it, they always have like that distinguished look, but they actually have the distinguished like gentleman kind of like traits to them. So it is neat to see these guys. I really like it. And then, the powerful friends, I can imagine what the communities are really going to be like. But yeah, shout out to the team over here, Cardman, Congo, and Matasso. I know Congo was one of the ones when we were in there kind of reaching out and just kind of encouraging us. So shout out to that team, man. And ADApes, you know, keep doing you. That's the main thing. Do you guys, you'll have a
just
good
keep staying true. If you're in it for the long term, then we're gonna be seeing you guys forever.
Absolutely.
I'm curious to see what they're going to buy up first. I know on Saturday, this past Saturday, so 4 days ago, they had started like their first kind of discussions. And unfortunately, this weekend was so busy. I don't know if you guys are able to jump in. We just weren't able to see. So I'm curious to see, you know, what their big purchases are going to be now coming forward too, and kind of what projects they start supporting on their DAO side. Yeah, because you know, see if those kind of pump things up. I know the Rats, you know, is exciting seeing all the things they bought. So now we got another one coming in, a big player.
Absolutely. And
if that's the plan, so like they are going to also be building out a treasury of CNFTs, you guys think?
I could see something along that line. TJ, I don't know if you went more into it. I didn't get a chance to look into the DAO itself, but seeing that they're going to be able to pay merchants and things for certain, profits or for whatever, I don't know. There's just so many ways they could do that, right? Within their own series or hierarchies. You guys get this, or you know, however they want to do that. There's so many different ways.
I just don't want to be a craftsman, man, because then you're just on the lowest of the low. Like, no offense to craftsman holders, you're doing better than I am, obviously. But I just don't want to be a craftsman because you're just like the very, like, you have no power in that hierarchy,
like,
man.
The tailors, I'm telling you, the tailors go in there. And if you're a tailor, dude, there's like, there's a joke in there about that. I don't know.
I might end up having to be a craftsman if I buy it now because the floor is going to be so high and I'll be at the low end, but that's okay. You know, that's just part of the game. But still, It's like, if you can get up even just one level, if you can just be an artist, at least you have a little ounce of power.
Right. And it's like, I got somebody I can talk down to a little bit, right?
Right. Whenever the merchants talk down to you as an artist, you can take out your aggression back down to it's a trickle down effect.
Like, they're laughing at you like, shut up, dude. Get out.
I was reading one of the comments that says, damn, I'm even lower class in the April. And oh well, let's fucking go Taylor fam.
Yeah, it's a Taylor fam. Shout out to the Taylor fam over there. I know they were doing some big things.
That sounds like the one for me. Then let's degen into that. Yeah,
absolutely.
We're here for the party apes
for sure.
We want the outcasts. Yeah.
Well, that could have some value. That if the Taylors are really the outcasts, that could have some separate value too.
Right. I don't want to be. Then that's the fun fam to be out of the works, right?
Eating food with Kathy Bates. I want to be on the lower deck of the Titanic doing the Irish dances, you know, spinning in circles with I don't know what's her name now, the actress from that, but
Kate Winslet.
Kate Winslet, thank you. Yeah, I want to be spinning around Rose to Irish jigs. I don't want to be upstairs with all the boring people.
I'll be upstairs with the rest of the apes, and then I'll kind of help you guys out when need be. You know, just be
you'll be Rose. You'll be Rose. You'll hang out upstairs, and you
I want the dividends, baby. I want the full on like passive income. But yeah, dude, whenever people are being too mean to you guys, I'll definitely shut you out. I'll be like, hey,
chill the fuck out. Yeah. Jay, real quick on there, because I know obviously, like I said, freedom after dark is always the thing over here. We try to knock through these things, but we're wrapping towards the back end this way. way. One of the projects that we got a chance to talk to over on CNFT Taco Tuesday was Cardopoly, which is not this right here. It is actually
Very
this right here.
interesting, huh?
Yes, Cardopoly, which is basically like the
Ah.
monopoly of Cardano. It's a board game that you're going to be able to play to earn ADA, which you earn Cardopoly coins or tokens or whatever, money inside here. Sorry, Cardopoly money. And it's Drop It. I wanted to shout them out this week because I'm actually, talking to Bobby right now. We're working on setting up a sit down over on our channel, but I had to shout them out because their mint is next Tuesday, the February 15th over at 2100 UTC. And there's only 750 of these pieces that are at 80 ADA a piece. But they have a really cool, unique design, which I'm already akin to the rocket, right, for our channel. Like this, the 3D modeling that they have is super unique, super detailed. And I just thought it was really cool. Like, think about it, man, a board game, you could go play with your family or something. Now you're able to log in online and actually physically mint your NFT piece. That's like your customized piece that's only yours, that gets to move around the board game itself. And actually get to play and earn money. And it has a lot of real world value or real value into it, where you can actually, like the Monopoly, own property. You can, charge people rent and taxes and stuff onto your properties. There's stash houses, there's community squares where people can land on and get certain NFTs by jumping onto those squares in game. Dude, wasn't that a fun project to talk about to the guy? And the guys are really cool over there too.
I think where this project has serious potential is in its uniqueness. As one of the only board games we've seen that is creating beautiful custom art for game pieces.
Absolutely.
What it's going to come down to is if people actually end up playing, right? So like there's going to be hype. These look sick. It's going to come down to, can you get people on the board every week playing this game? And after talking to them, I'm rooting for them. I've never seen it. So if I'm just to be honest, like I have no freaking clue, guys. This is going to be a super big experiment, but that's why it also checks kind of one of my boxes for an investment, because it's so unique that we really don't know what's going to happen. So just in case, in the off chance that it's successful, the asymmetric upside is so much because it's the only one of its kind, and you'll see all these other copycats. So it's kind of an interesting one to me. It wouldn't be something that I would spend my life savings on, but it would be something that I would definitely mint as after talking to the team too. Those guys are so dope. And I think they're going to come on my channel pretty soon too, to do a demo. So once I see the game, I'll probably have better context to see okay, how playable could this be? You know what I mean?
Well, that's Tommy, you might know more. I just remember from the part I listened to in the space that, like, I know they have a lot of plans for the future, like expanding it, because as people start playing it, there's ways in the game that you have to spend ADA or their tokens to actually continue to play.
Correct.
And then that'll go into like a fund that's going to be used to continue the game further. I didn't.
And for your prizes. Yeah. So you can have, I believe you start with, 250 rolls is what he had initially said. There's 750 total quantities. So there's not a big quantity of these things. And you're only allowed to mint or hold one of these NFTs in a wallet. So you can't have multiple pieces on like a same board, right? They're kind of, I think he's working on trying to get you like verified via like your Discord. So you can, so you're not over there just like stacking a board of all your pieces, so you can kind of control the game. They're trying to keep it in one little area, right? So, but once you have your 250 rolls, I think once you exhaust,
buy more rolls.
You can buy more rolls, or you can wait to come back the next day for like a cooldown over there. And I'll let them kind of explain a little more about once we get a chance to actually have them on. But the cool thing about it is you can actually buy property inside the game itself. And then if you owners who passive income inside of there, it gets turned into the Cardopoly money, and eventually that Cardopoly money, who knows if you can trade that back to ADA. It's just kind of a cool, unique concept. I wanted to just shout them out because I know they're not like super. I haven't seen too much press for or anything for these guys, but I just thought it was unique in the sense that board games are now starting to come to the blockchain, and like I haven't really seen anything like that yet, and I think that's really cool for these guys.
I like the dev that we talked to. I think his name is Drexler or something. And what I like about their team is there were 3 guys that met through a rug pull. It wasn't in Coco Loco. It was one of those early Cardano rug pulls. And they basically were like just part of like the consumers. So they bought into a project that rug pulled, but they became best friends. They each had a certain skill set, and they combined to make a very unique project and try to add utility to it. And the artwork is is so sick. And I think that's why it's getting some traction here and attention.
Oh yeah.
And what a cool space we did with them, because this was like when I heard him talk about it, I was like, dude, there's nothing like this out here.
No,
Oh, so they're
no.
gonna have variations of the game pieces too. I mean, that makes
Yes.
sense. I just didn't really
Yeah.
consider that part. That makes a lot of sense. I don't know why I didn't consider that. But yeah, not everyone's gonna have the same rocket game piece. That's really cool.
Well, and there's rarities to these things, and they offer different utility to each of them. So
They don't have a thimble. That was the best piece from Monopoly, the stupid
Right.
sewing thimble.
Yeah, I think they don't want to copy it, but they want to keep tints of the game like to it.
Well, they have way cooler versions of these. Yeah, you don't need a shoe or a
Yeah.
thimble.
The money bag.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now they got submarines and the night. Like these are way cooler.
I really want the
Like
rocket.
a UFO.
We needed to have 35 rocket just to kind of sneak. I hope we mint one of those, or I mint one of those.
I
just
want a
wanted-
UFO. Yeah, that
There
would be
you go.
sick.
Well, it would be fun. Like, so taking game nights to a whole new level, right? If you're like us being content creators, like we could, think about in Discord, hey, we want to do a game night tonight. Hey, everybody get on Cardopoly. We're going to go out there. Winner gets the, whatever prize tonight. Like, this is a perfect way to even segue game nights, obviously, into individual servers and start to play with like your fan base as more and more of these games happen.
Or stream, if I get a game piece, dude, I'll
There you go.
stream like a whole game and show people while I'm talking about other projects too. Like,
Yep.
oh, I got a roll. Let's see. What do you guys think I should do? What should I do? I got this much Cardopoly money. Kind of I don't like your suggestion. I'm gonna do my own thing on this one. And then the next one, I'll take their suggestions on the next one,
What
That'd
if your
be so
viewers are
fun.
jumping into your game and they're like, no, never mind, I'm gonna block you, and then they come in and they stream snipe you, dude.
Stream
they
sniping
wanna work-
Cardopoly.
If they want to work that hard, they deserve it,
Yeah, for sure. But I think there's it gives a whole new meaning to like game nights and things like that. And it's just a cool. This is something you probably you're gonna ape into and just like, I'm gonna buy all the Cardopoly pieces. There's no real point to doing that because you only really need one for what you're trying to do.
Especially if the Tala Prism comes out. I mean, all this stuff you're not going to be able to make multiple wallets for. So
no, and it's an 88 a piece, which isn't any cheap mint at all. And there's only 750 of them. So I'm hoping that I at least get one. I just want to have one just because, like you said,
want one
the option
UFO.
just give me one UFO or one rocket ship, whatever it is. But I wanted to shout these guys out because I think the team was really nice. They were really cool guys. And they have a good vision for it, so just shout out to Cardopoly over here.
Huge ups to Cardopoly. I think they have some challenges. I don't want to be naive as an investor, rooting for the team, but I'm excited to see what the game's actually like, because that will give me more context to see like, oh, okay.
For sure. That's where my head's in the same kind of boat with these guys. Jay, I don't know, this isn't really a deep dive into this at all, but I just wanted to go ahead and showcase it out here while we're sitting here talking. Have you heard of FudBuddies?
So from you, I think just yesterday, a little bit.
Okay.
I forget what the connection was though. There's a connection between FudBuddies and nanoframes, right?
There's Nano, there's Captain. The whole thing into these guys is the FudBuddies popped out of nowhere. Back in right in the end of January. I think when we covered them, they had like 3,200 people on Twitter. Now they're up to 4,900, almost 5,000 in a few days. Big thing, but they're built on community artists. There's a lot of different CNFT people inside of there. But today they went ahead. Their thing is take the word FudBud, add it to your name, and go jump into Discord. So FudBud JCRYPTO, you could be in there. But everybody does it. Everybody really participates in the Discord, and it's fun. And the Discord was really live. But the main thing with this was meant for the artwork. And today they went ahead and dropped their website, the FudBuddies.io. And I just had to shout it out because, dude, this website is actually really sick. First off, the art on this stuff is really cool looking. It's definitely unique and something different in the space. And they'd actually released a release date today of February the 27th, which I don't know what day that actually is for me. That is a Sunday. It's interestingly enough.
That works out very well for me.
Yeah. So I don't know any of the details on it, but you scroll through and even as I scroll, the stuff moves. But I really like it's like a darker style, like the skulls, they have like the demons, like the little cash stuff, the horns, like it's like
what you picture a real Fudster kind of looking like. And I think that's important. What they're doing for the Fud culture abroad is they're really saying, hey, look, we accept you. If you want to Fud, come join our community and let's Fud together and become something strong here. And I think that this is going to spark a Fud movement. We may see even more Fud than we have seen in the past few months and for Cardano. So it will be very interesting to see how this kind of progresses.
Absolutely. And the guys are built on a good team. This guy, Jack over here, Lewis and Max, which I'll have to go back inside the actual team itself because these guys are vetted inside the Cardano community. And there's some big members of the Cardano community inside this Discord. And so there's big hype built around it right now. And it's embrace the FUD, don't resist it. I think TJ, you had also mentioned like a good inside their Discord. There was a funny like link because they were like, don't take it too seriously at the end of the day, guys. Like they already had that mentality, which I really appreciated because, dude, like, you know, like you said, people degen into these projects and they're always so negative, you know, if it doesn't go their way. These guys are like, dude, screw that. Like the roadmap to us, like I wanted to, Jay, I'll show you this because it's always funny to me. When we were TJ starts to die and laughing last episode at us, and he's just like, I'm like, what are you laughing at, dude? And he goes, dude, click on the roadmap inside their Discord. I'm like, sure. And I click on the roadmap, and it's just a fucking guy with a gift. I don't know.
and dude, you know what's interesting about this whole embrace the FUD is it's kind of what I've seen people in Cardano do because we've been FUDded so hard as we've had so much developing on chain and people saying that we're a ghost chain. And we've even had projects call themselves Ghostchain and they're very serious projects. And the interesting part about embracing that FUD is you're invincible after that, because when you can get to that mental place where any FUD that comes into you, you're like, yeah, sure, you're right. Absolutely. In fact, that's so true. We're going to double down on that. We're going to become the ghost chain and still build and do stuff. You just become mentally invincible. So I think there's a broader message that we can all learn from FudBuddies here.
Absolutely.
Did you see Tommy, go back to their website real fast. See Jack, you see the the website you were just on, the tracksuit Jack has on, FudBuddies.
FudBuddies.
I didn't even see that. That's
wow,
funny.
good catch right there.
That's a dope tracksuit too.
I mean,
I like the little
pizza.
titles under like Mind Goblin Lewis, dude.
Pineapple
You do
pizza
not want to
lover.
get into a FUD war with him. Let me tell you, because he's going to jump inside your mind and be a little goblin.
And they are definitely doing the FUD takeover because I think right now on CNFT tools, open CNFT tools, I think they have a sponsorship right now where it just says like FUD takeover across the top, and they're like, I've taken over their page.
I think you'd rather be
tools, FudBud
than
takeover,
against
FudBud tools. Yeah.
Yep. That's actually really interesting right here. I love that FudBud takeover. These guys are, I love the artwork, man. It's just this, it's unique, it's dark, it's fun. It's not FUD right now, you know, but it is FUD. It's a good FUD.
I wonder if these guys will act as little soldiers to FUD other ecosystems that are not Cardano, like little FUDsters that go branch out and start FUDding Ethereum, like, oh, Ethereum's a ghost chain. Yeah, it's like something ridiculous like that. That's just
When's ETH 2?
The crazy part to me is I think these guys are literally like it's FudBuddies.
Hologram. Like
these guys. Yeah, right.
I just made that up. FudBuds, if you guys want to say Vitalik's a hologram, feel free. You know.
There you go. I think the whole point to these guys too is like I love this. We were watching as you start to scroll. But these guys are kind of playing on the other aspect of this. Is like there's the opposite of FUD, right? These guys are all bracing about this community and having fun out here. But it's like literally they're taking the word FUD and flipping it upside down, or maybe changing the end of it to fun.
I wonder if you could tag a FudBud. If this would be a cool marketing play for them. If somebody's FUDding Cardano, if you could almost tag a FudBud and like somebody that's in their community to come in and like kind of, you know, do a Twitter like meme off or something, you know, that would be an interesting one too.
Yep. Even cooler is like, so you get somebody FUDding Cardano
like the Mind
or
Goblin
any of that stuff. Hey, it's like, hey man, you're a little upset right now. You looks like you need a FUD buddy, and it is assign you a FUD buddy to come comment on your stuff. Like, hey man, why are you so angry right now, man? Just come hang out.
Why are you FUDding?
You just need a FUD daddy with your FudBuddies. You know,
they have many different directions that they could play this for sure.
For sure. I to me, I was just instantly grabbed by the artwork. I thought it was definitely unique. It's like obviously a PFP kind of style, but it's unique and it's fun. And again, they have a good community building around them already. So that's the most important part of this stuff. And apparently, like they said, backed by, created by a proven team of friends. So again, probably need to do a deeper dive as we get towards the back end of the month with these guys. But February 27th, definitely want to continue to kind of cover these guys because I'm already a fan of what they're doing over there. So I'm FudBud TOMY inside the Discord now. I had to change the name over there.
For me, it's like, it's not about the art. It's about actually what they can do with this brand for Cardano, because they actually have things that they could really, really do that would really stand out and no one's doing. And they've said their message, which is embrace the FUD, and that can be interpreted many ways. But I think I've stated a few ways that I could see it really evolving into something interesting. And Lewis, by the way, this is a guy you want to tag if you're being fudded because he's a
Right.
mind goblin. And I feel like this guy right here, for even just having the balls to call
Yeah.
himself a mind goblin, that's like pretty ballsy. So I think he's the kind of FudBud that you want going after somebody if you need.
Get
I
him.
think he's their main artist too. I think he's the one that actually
Lewis.
does all the art for them. Yeah,
He's a mind
since they don't
goblin.
have
Well, you
traditional
got the main
roles on
dev.
there.
The dev is George, and then you have mods of Gray. I'd have to go back. You even got Jub in there from Happy Hoppers.
It was on their website somewhere. I know if you it's if you scroll up somewhere, I know
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was Lewis they talked about when they were talking about like how they make the actual FUDs, the FudBuddies. They
Right.
said like, you know, he was hand drawing everything.
Goblin for the mind.
Right. Well, I'll have to go back and we'll probably cover these guys again. Oh, hey, there we are.
Hey, what the hell?
All right,
Is that
yeah,
on their
that's nice.
page?
Yeah, that's fun.
All right, cool.
So, yeah, there you
There's
go.
Jack. Hey, let me get a Fadidas tracksuit. That thing's sweet.
Right. There you go. Well, shout out to FudBuddies. I just had to go because I really like that website. I just wanted to shout out that
Mhm.
artwork and put it on the radar. And dude, Jake, there you go, man. You can do your thing
Thank you,
too.
dude,
Get
for
these guys
showing
going.
me that project, by the way. That's pretty cool.
I'm sure we'll be talking about it later. But
I know,
think,
right? This is gonna be fun now because we can kind of talk about all these projects now throughout the next few weeks.
For sure. And it's fun. Like my biggest thing kind of taken away from this stuff is, you know, we're officially wrapping up on the back end over here. For us is now, dude, it's you get to chat with these different, you're a creator, we're creators. There's different projects that you talk to every single day inside these spaces. You're just learning, man. And it's just getting to play that information out. That information is invaluable to people and what you learn inside these spaces, way more than what you're investing in, I think, and just in general right now. So it's cool to have different perspectives, and we appreciate you jumping over to our side over here into this podcast style format, longer winded stuff for sure.
Dude, this was fun, man.
Well,
But
no, and
it-
our
I still
circle of
actually
friends is
have-
growing too. Like I like that. It's only been me and TJ and Tommy. So everyone else that we know, if we start talking about NFTs, they're just like, shut the fuck up, please. Like we don't want to hear
Dude,
about this. That's nice.
Can you
but
stop
please,
talking
can we
about it?
stop?
Come on.
So between you now and Blake, like, we're getting our circle of friends kind of growing here.
You
More people
having
to talk
three-
to.
I think a low key gem about you guys is you guys have 3 people, and I don't know what it is, but usually a 2-hour show, like even Blake's, it's just hard to do. Like I could tell me and Blake were both just like pretty
All right.
exhausted.
Yeah.
But I think having the other people in the room somehow just, I have more energy right now than I even
Dude.
did in most of my Twitter spaces or 2-hour shows. And maybe it's just because there's different people giving different things and there's less back and forth. But I just like, I could like, honestly, like I'm not going to keep going because then I'll get tired and that won't be like as cool and fun because I'll be like, oh man, I ended on a bad note. But I'll be like a FudBud. But it's interesting because I do have energy still. So I think that's a cool thing what you guys are doing with 3 people.
Though, yeah, and like I said, our thing for us was just we
You're
enjoyed
like the
talking
Beatles
about it.
minus John Lennon.
There you go. Hey, we can fill it in. We'll have some guests that will
I'll
complete
put my
that
hair
trio.
down. Yeah.
Well,
There
you
you
see
go.
in your Taco Tuesday space too, though. You guys got so many people, and
Oh,
it
it's
kind
so
of
helpful, man.
rotates out too throughout the week. I know you've had like Bitfins in there some weeks and stuff
Well,
like that, and they
Dude,
jump
I'm ripping
in and-
through tacos sometimes
um,
while people are talking. I couldn't be doing that if it was just one or 2
Exactly.
people.
Yeah, it kind
Well,
of takes the pressure off, allows you
doing
to like
those
get your
things.
energy back, and then
Yeah.
kind of think and consider what you want to say and jump in when you're actually ready to say something you want to contribute, as opposed to just having to force it the whole time.
Yeah, that's the big thing too, right? There's no pressure as much when you do these with multiple people, right? You're not the main focus every single minute of this stuff too. So it gives you a chance to be like, collect your thoughts and be like, okay, yeah, dude, for sure. Let me take a
It's
thought
always
about
nice
that.
to hear someone else's opinion on the projects and stuff too.
For sure. I felt like I learned a lot about just even the metaverse, like the way that your mindset is looking
Oh,
at
the
it
technical
versus
side of it. I
Yeah.
really
Enjoyed that.
yeah, the cornucopias mixed with like the PAVIA stuff right now. I'm super excited. Obviously, hopefully we'll get a chance to talk next Tuesday about what happened with PAVIA and all these big things. That's gonna be a fun topic, bro.
Gonna be
Hopefully
interesting.
it goes well, right?
I hope
It'll be an
so,
all
but
show.
I hope so. But like at the same time, dude, if something breaks, it's within my realm of expectations. I'm not gonna be mad because
No, for sure.
so many people are going after those. Right, it's free money, as I think it was either TJ or Tommy down
Tom.
below, guy on the
Tom.
right bottom or guy
One
on
of
the
the
left
T's.
bottom.
One
One
of
of
the
the
T's.
T's.
Yeah, Tommy,
Yeah.
TJ, Tom, dude, somebody just pick a T. You're good.
But yeah, man, it's you're right. You said something important there, which is getting other people's perspectives and assimilating those is so key, man. We all got different takes on shit. So
Yep.
agree.
And it's good for us right now, especially I love the fact that this is such embraces the Cardano community of these different content creators who normally you may think people are always in competition with each other. Dude, we're on the opposite end of that. Like, hey man, let's jump onto each other's stuff and like start introducing each other to new people because it only grows the ecosystem.
Well, that's how, if you look at BitBoy and Altcoin Daily, these guys all came up together. They all came up talking to the same founders, and the founders and the projects on ETH all came up together. So that's how I see us kind of happening in our metaverses. I think we're all going to come up together.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna. Well, my favorite thing is when CNFT Con. You're planning on going to CNFT Con in Vegas, right?
Well, not confirmed. But I really, really, really want to.
Yeah,
I really want to.
Hey, we got to get the taco truck out there, man. We're selling some tacos out front.
Yeah, once it's confirmed, once it's like legit confirmed, I'll let you guys know. But it's just I haven't done anything for it yet, so I can't say that I'm going until I do shit for it.
We're over here on the side of reaching out to the guys over there, and we've secured a booth, but we haven't obviously paid for anything yet because they're still in the process of setting that up. So we're not officially going until that happens too. And then obviously plane tickets to are a little.
You guys are going to do a booth?
Yeah, so we plan on kind of hosting some stuff. We already talked to a guy. This guy Ken Adams, who does some stuff with Project Catalyst and Cardano.
He's a great guy.
Oh, I love Ken. We actually hosted a live space for Cardano trees. I'm a big Cardano trees fan too. And Damien, we had a chance to talk to him.
Oh, really?
And they're so all of us are like lined on the end on the same row, outside the main part, on the walkway towards the entrance when you kind of come in. So it'll be fun, man. We just want to connect with people out there. That's the main goal of this, right? We talked to Yummi yesterday too, and same thing. We want to talk to you guys when we're out there and meet all the people that we've had chances to talk to online. And it'll feel like a homecoming, right? That's the goal of all this.
That'll be the wildest thing is all these people we've talked to for so long. It's like
meet them in person.
Yeah, see how tall they are.
Right. Yeah, there's a big thing, right? Like, what if you like a big guy and all of a sudden you're a little shorty or something like that.
I'm 6'3".
I'm 5'10", so I'm just putting it out there so I don't get exposed.
There you go.
5'10" on a good day, guys. Okay,
there
so 5'9".
It's like that 5'11", 6 foot. Like no,
no,
5'8", 5'9" with Nike Shocks on.
So there you go.
There we go. The other thing too, I was just gonna say is I don't want to get a booth because I feel as though maybe for you guys, you've already thought about this with 3 people. At least one of you can roam when you want to and say hi to everybody. I just want to have that mobility to get away, in case I need to, in case a bunch of people are coming up to me. I just want to be able to slip through.
Yeah. I can hear you on that 100% on that. I think our goal with it, especially being a podcast, we have some ideas that what we would want to do, but
that's cool though.
Having people stop by, talking, chatting with them, there's a bunch of stuff.
That would be cool, man.
We're gonna have a dunk tank. TJ's gonna be sitting there.
I thought I was in the pie in the face one.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
That's some dumb shit, right? Like, but yeah, there's so much stuff that you could do with it. And obviously, we would have some rotation. Yeah, there you go. We would have the fun like carnival like thing over here, right? But dude, I just it's gonna be fun.
I wonder if it'd be cool if I would set up something is if I could get like something with PAVIA or Cornucopias like to do a demo. Or even just be in one of their things, like doing a demo of some kind of cool thing and filming.
Well, if you couldn't be there physically, you could be there at the metaverse, like demo, right? You could be.
Everybody jumps into the VR and has an interview direct with you.
Ooh, yeah. There's things that just in case I can't go, that's interesting too. Yeah, we'll see how it all plays out. The taco too. I mean, I want to be around the tacos first and foremost because I'll be hungry sometimes. So that will be huge.
I think what you could do too, right, is if anything, if you partner with PAVIA takes off the way you think, right? Like, hey, just be with JCRYPTO from 1 to 3 today. He's going to be at the PAVIA booth, chatting away with people on some stuff. Like, even if you didn't want to host your own stuff, right? Like, just blowing people's minds about the possibilities of what you could do.
Signing Oculus headsets and blow up as like a content creator.
That's always the fun part, right? It's like it's weird to have like fans. Like if somebody's like we always tell them, you shared that meme the other day. It's like the little like guy in the corner and like the party's going on, and it's like people don't know, but I'm kind of a big deal on CNFT Twitter.
Dude, if I'm
mildly famous,
I would feel so gross if I ever signed somebody's Oculus headset like an autograph. I'd be like, I'm done.
JCRYPTO,
I'm done with all of this.
Right.
I'm going home.
Bro, I mean, if this thing takes off the way you do, who knows, man? Maybe Cardano is the leading blockchain, and we're over here talking about it now. You never know where life
Yeah,
takes you,
man.
right?
I mean, if we were right about the bets that we placed, then there's something to be said for our theses. So who knows what theses we'll have in the future? That's what I always think about when we have stuff like quantum computing and
Bro.
we're tracking that kind of stuff. It'll be interesting.
Bro, you're breaking it down for us right now. I love the analytics, man. Just we're gonna end it out on a high note like that with some alpha like that from JCRYPTO over there. But dude, I appreciate you jumping onto the show tonight, man, and I as do all of
Love
us.
the information.
Yeah,
sure.
likewise, man. This was a lot of fun.
Dude.
Keep
Well, it's
doing your
crazy.
thing. Yeah.
Dude, it was crazy to have it. Like I said, I think this is probably one of the longest episodes we've done, but it was just because there's so much
Blew
content
by.
and we had some good, just good topics in general to chat about. It's good perspective. So shout out to you, man. I really appreciate everything that you're doing for the, Cardano ecosystem,
Appreciate
the
it,
CNFT
brother.
world, bro, the spaces, everything, man. So Jay, if just for everybody here who's been listening, obviously, where's the best place to find you currently right now?
Right now in my house, but
Yeah.
for what you guys are talking about, I would say probably YouTube and Twitter. So yeah, YouTube channel. If you want like my YouTube content, it's on YouTube, Twitter Spaces though are fun because then people can like engage like directly with us,
Yep.
like
Just
CNFT
search,
Taco Tuesday.
JCRYPTO to find those. JCRYPTO on
We'll-
Twitter and YouTube. I mean, we'll put links in it. But
We're gonna link everything.
in case
Yeah.
people are
obviously down to
lazy,
the
they usually
description.
are.
There's,
so.
you know what, guys, I'm not that big yet where if you put JCRYPTO on YouTube, it's only me. There's like
Yeah.
20 other guys that thought
Okay.
of the same idea
Yeah.
to do JCRYPTO. So
It's a
probably
catchy
should've been
name,
more-
bro. It's a catchy
I-
name, though.
Yeah, I probably should have been more original like you guys with Freedom 35, but it's
It's simple. It
interesting.
works.
I don't know how original it is because
JCRYPTO
it was
works.
taken from Trailer Park Boys. It was inspired from.
We added the
their plan.
ERS to the end of
because
it.
we're the 35ers. That's our goal. But
The goal is to retire by 35. Yeah, that's the goal here. So for
We're doing a little
35.
different. I think their goal was
Freedom
to
35ers. Let's
grow
go.
weed in their trailer park and sell it to prison guards. So we're going about it a little differently. But
They were still probably trying to retire by 35
yeah,
with
exactly.
that.
That was the whole idea.
So yeah, but it's been dope to have you on, man, and we really appreciate it. Obviously, we'll link everything down in the description for you to come check us out. But if not, we can also catch us on CNFT Taco Tuesdays on Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. And then Jay, you have a million other spaces that you do, which the big one I know is always Metaverse Monday over there on Twitter.
Yeah.
So
You'll see us
everything.
around.
Oh, for
That's
sure.
what I
man.
like to say.
And we're
Right.
all growing, and I would love to do this again another time, and just have you jump into the podcast. And it was fun, man. It was fun chatting with you tonight.
Yeah, likewise, guys. Thank you so
Well-
much. And
well,
thank you
dope.
to the audience for hearing
Yeah.
us kind of BS and talk about CNFTs, which is something that's a lot of fun to talk about.
For sure. We could do this, like you said, all night. So here we are. Well, we're going to wrap
Give
this
us
up
more
here.
projects, right? We
there
ran
you
out,
go.
but give us more
Yeah.
projects.
Literally,
We'll do it.
deep dive for sure, man. Well, again, we appreciate everybody listening tonight. It's another Freedom 35ers, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.